A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Actually, a theme park far, far away.
Good point. Everyone, we're here today to talk about a ride known as Star Tours.
Great video this shall be. Welcome, fellow rebel spies. Tiki here,
And
And, adve-
BlueDragonFive.
and AdvBlueDude.
and tonight we're talking Mr. Banks. Yes, talking Mr. Banks, we shall talk. Mr. Banks, we shall talk. I'm sorry, guys. I have a case of the hiccups, and that's really bad, especially talking out of a mask. What's up, everyone? Yeah, Tiki's out for the night, so Yoda's
Frank
going to be
Oz.
taking over.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh,
Oh,
you
Christ.
should. You should, BlueDragonFive. Every time me and masks get involved, just terrible, awful things happen in that.
Just be glad Yoda doesn't have a beanie.
Well, actually, gentlemen, I think
Don't
we
give
should
me
all
ideas,
try to...
BlueDrag. Don't give me ideas, Adventure Blue Dude. I don't think anyone wants to see hipster Yoda. Oh, Daddy, oh.
My dear fellow rebels, I think it'd be a good idea if we all tried to quote Star Wars as much as possible during this.
I'll have
Alright,
what she's having.
Yeah, that's totally fine with
Star
me.
Wars.
Well,
Harry met Sally.
Adventure Blue Dude. Adventure Blue Dude,
Yes.
I don't like you. My friend doesn't like you either.
I'll be careful.
You'll be dead. Alright, there we go.
I'll bet you have.
Alright, so BlueDragonFive, you want to give us a little intro on Star Tours?
Sure. Well, folks, regrettably, due to the Empire interfering with our transmission and the Death Star discharging in our general location, a lot of lives lost, a lot of younglings killed. But luckily, we
Independent
survived and we're
contractors
back.
just perish.
So many dead.
Independent contractors.
The Empire strike back, but we're Jedis and we're returning. So here's the thing:
So many dead.
Star Wars.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Star Wars has been around for many years, and who among us doesn't like Star Wars? I mean, what else are we here talking about in this great video? Why is Yoda here? And a great ride was constructed. Why is Yoda here?
Why is Yoda here? Yoda is here because, well, first of all, when I say I don't like Star Wars, that's not true. However, I'm
That's
not...
impossible! Sorry. Couldn't help.
No, like you said, as many Star Wars quotes as possible. I'm not huge on it. It's a matter of fact, see, BlueDragonFive, I don't suppose you got a chance to watch the Geeky Gentleman Star Wars video?
Not yet.
Okay, well, they make a point about, like, Milan says that he's, he's kind of just a little sick of Star Wars just because it's everywhere. It's like it's oversaturated. It's like everything all the time. Star Wars. To which point, Sid Part 2 and Zazubar proceeded to harass Milan incessantly about being a hipster. But my point is, like, I do think that Star Wars is just one of those things where it's kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas for me. It's like I would like it more if it wasn't thrown in my watch. Having said that, I definitely have respect for the originals. And I even like parts of the prequels. Like, I actually kind of like Phantom Menace. I'll defend Phantom Menace. But, yeah, I'm not a huge, overly big Star Wars fan. Like, I'm more like into Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park, stuff like that. But hey, like I said, I don't dislike the films, not by a long stretch. I'm just, like, not, like, overly in love with them. So that's all I'm saying.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. I kind of got distracted myself. Can I get back to kind of the what I was saying about the Star Tours?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine. But yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't do this on May the 4th because that's the wonderful holiday that celebrates everyone the love of Star Wars and kind of Star Wars' impact on the cultural whole.
But we could do it 10 days later.
Happy May the Fortnight.
Happy May the 14th, guys. Yeah. Woo-hoo!
May the 4th, Jedi Night. Of course, wonderfully named.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, go to BlueDragonFive. I'm sorry.
Of course, wonderfully named after the pun. May the 4th be with you. May the Force be with you. How? I mean, it just shows you how much is permeating the culture. It has a day named after it. Just the films and the impact, and we're even getting more films nowadays with the Disney partaking in the Star Wars bountiful Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah.
And Star Wars is so popular, in fact, after the big old trilogy, and also thanks to Pixar's involvement in Lucasfilm, by the way, something to point out, we got this wonderful ride, Star Tours, that celebrates kind of what we all like about Star Wars. I think, in my opinion, my humble opinion, kind of what it really sells you on Star Wars if you're not a Star Wars fan, or just if you're a big Star Wars fan, you feel just at home at this ride, Star Tours.
Well, it's cool because you're right, because you do absolutely feel as at home as a Star Wars fan on the ride, but at the same time, I feel like it's totally accessible to people who aren't really into it. It totally draws you into the world, especially through the queue line and everything, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Certainly.
And yeah, it's just like, it's such a fun ride, but go back to what you're saying.
Right. I was just going to go on to say that, yeah, Star Tours is a very immersive experience. Again, the more how I feel about the ride later on, but just it was initiated, I believe, in 1986.
7.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, 1987, yeah.
7.
Oh. Well, I mean, like, I guess production, 86 perhaps, so I could...
Production was
probably.
86, probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably that. Then, well, the thing is, actually, it's interesting, Adventure BlueDude, because I think, like, in different parks, there's, like, different times it was released, because, like, in my personal favorite one, MGM, you know, now Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that was
Florida.
89.
Yeah, that one's 89.
Then I think in Japan it was 92.
Yeah, 92 in Japan. Disneyland, I thought it was 86, but apparently 87. So regardless,
yeah.
Paris is probably 92 as well.
Actually, with Disneyland, technically there was a soft open in December of 96, and then it opened officially in January of 97. So technically it was open to the public at the end of 2000, or at the end of 86.
Yes.
I think it's kind of interesting, real briefly, to point out that Disney had an interest in Star Wars before they actually got the rights.
Oh, yeah, they did. Oh, hell yeah.
Anyway, they have Star Tours, and again, it initiated in Disneyland.
They had the Jedi Training Academy, too, like, well before they bought the rights.
Yeah. Also, you can tell they always had the marketing of the Disney characters dressed as Star Wars characters in gift shops. You know,
and they've had Star Wars weekends for like 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not 15 years, but for a while.
Long while.
At least 10.
Yeah.
You've got the big Star Wars weekend at MGM that they've been having for years.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're absolutely right, BlueDragonFive. Like, throughout the years, like, even way before this big, like, okay, Disney's just going to go own everything in pop culture, way before that, you know, like, they definitely did have an interest in Star Wars. I mean, of course, we had Star Tours, and even extending into Lucasfilm, we had several Indiana Jones rides and attractions throughout multiple parks. Several different versions of Indiana Jones I found interesting, because we had Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland, we had the stunt show in MGM, and then we even had, I believe, is it Paris that they have the kind of the Loopy Wild Mouse one?
Yep, the Temple of Peril.
So I think, like, it's really interesting that every time they've done an Indiana Jones, it's been, like, completely unique.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you guys are absolutely right when you say, you know, from the 80s, Disney has had their eye on Star Wars. What?
They also have one on Disney Sea. I just remembered that.
Okay. Well,
I think it's kind of interesting that before Actually, if I'm correct, I could be wrong here. When did Continues come in? Do you remember?
2010.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So think
Yeah.
about it. I would assume Disney was in talks to buying Star Wars in 2010, but that it wasn't
sure.
official. It wasn't official then, but still, it just shows you.
Yeah, that's
Regardless,
an
it is.
interesting point.
So think about it. Back then, in like around in the late 80s, if you will, they had like they recognized, okay, Star Wars very popular. People are going nuts for it. It'd be a smart move. And plus, it's getting redone and all that stuff nowadays for the people making and putting it out in the 90s.
Right.
And I'm sure Disney realized, oh, there's a fun adventure ride we could put in there, reel people in. Certainly, it's adventure. It's kind of embodies kind of the Disney philosophy. Just some nice adventure rides. Families get in there. They love it. And a lot of fans, I suppose, would get in there. A lot of clientele right there.
Mm-hmm.
So they see the potential in that. Then they see, okay, man, people really, this ride's never going to go anywhere because Star Wars fans are always going to exist. And maybe at this time in 2010, they're realizing, maybe we should take this a step further and actually procure the rights. Maybe behind the scenes they're working on that. But in the meantime, they're saying, we got to upgrade the ride. We got to make people just think Disney when they think Star Wars and the experience. Like, it was such a fun experience going to Disney, and they go on this ride, and it's even better than before. And we're getting to that later.
I mean, to tell you the truth, the actual film itself, I think aged rather quickly, because I remember, like, even back in, like, the late 90s, my parents would talk about, like, how hokey the Star Tours film was. And don't get me wrong, like, what made Star Tours a great ride was the simulator aspect of that. It will get all into that element, but, I don't know, but yeah, I think they knew for a long time that they needed to update it. Like, at least, like, in the early 2000s onward, they were kind of looking at it. Like, rumors were going on for quite some time.
Certainly.
And then, of course, we had the prequel trilogy and everything, so, I heard from a lot of people were afraid that it was just going to be, like, exclusively prequels, like they were going to turn it into, like, exclusively a pod race attraction, all kinds of wild rumors going on. So I'm glad they went with what they went with.
Regardless, it's a really fun ride, and it's endured, and it survived like improvements. I mean, you know how some rides kind of disintegrate after improvements, or they cease to be the original ride.
Caribbean.
Yeah. Or rides that are sometimes destroyed, and just it's the same ride, just lazily. It's like, you can basically see the paint drying as you're walking around. Such as
space.
I was thinking more.
Or I'm sorry. I mean, adventure. I'm thinking Journey into Your Imagination.
Yes.
I was thinking more Back to the Future, and now it's the Simpsons ride. But fair point.
Yeah.
Literally paint dry. I walked there. I saw the paint dry. I'm like, it's the same ride. I saw some orange underneath the purple guardrails. Like, what happened?
That's kind of sad. I'm sad that they're taking out the Doc Brown Chicken Shack from Universal Studios. Yeah. That was like the last memento of Back to the Future in that park.
Yeah.
And now it's just more Simpsons stuff.
Yeah. Darn it. But, anyway, back to Star Tours. Star Tours is a very popular. Should we go into? We've all had. Let's face it, we all have nostalgic connections to the Star Tours ride. Am I correct in that?
Well, actually, BlueDragonFive. I kind of, before we get into the ride, would you mind if we talk just a little bit about the ride that this replaced?
Okay, go by all means. Go ahead. You guys lead us through it.
Journey or Adventure Through Inner Space.
Yes.
Which was a marvelous dark ride experience narrated by Paul Frees that I absolutely kick myself every day that I was not born when this ride was around, because holy crap, this ride looks amazing. Essentially the premise of it was that, and the cool thing about it was that it was sponsored by Monsanto. So in the days of Disneyland ticketed attractions, this was actually a free attraction, because all attractions that were sponsored were free, and then all the other ones were ticketed. So this was actually technically a sponsored exhibit, even though it was like one of the craziest rides in the park. So I always found that kind of interesting. But BlueDragonFive, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the, there's this very famous kind of opening to Adventure Through Inner Space where in the loading area where the Starspeeder 3000 is now, basically, when you first walk into Star Tours, in the loading area there was the mighty microscope, which was, it's just like it describes. It's just this big-ass microscope. and then it's pointed towards an atom, like a big. No, it's pointed towards a snowflake, but the snowflake is like projected like onto this like really big, and you see the Omnimover, the mighty microscope, and then in the glass of the mighty microscope, you see these miniature models of the Omnimover. So the illusion is supposed to be that as the Omnimovers go into the mighty microscope, they actually shrink. So I don't know, just the ride was groundbreaking for being one of the first rides to use almost exclusively projection effects with a few physical sets here and there. I don't know, AdvBlueDude, do you have anything else to say about it?
Oh, it was a beautiful attraction. It was the
and of
first
course,
time.
I think Paul Frees does one of the most amazing vocal performances ever on any theme park ride.
Yeah.
Because it's all about just his reactions to getting smaller and smaller, and he's just freaking out and having an anxiety attack, and it's just like, oh god. So BlueDragonFive, you have no connection to that at all? You don't remember, or you haven't read anything about it or anything?
Well, I mean, a brief, just like the name of the ride and that it was replaced. That's about it.
All right. So yes, I'd be remiss if we bring homage to Adventure Through Inner Space.
No problem.
All right. So, BlueDragonFive, were you about to ask about our first memories with Star Tours?
Should we summarize the first ride experience, or should we just say what our experience was, then go into it? What do you guys want to do?
I'm down with summarizing my first ride experience. What do you think, AdvBlueDude?
I don't remember my first experience.
Well, try to think about it.
Okay.
That is why you fail.
Seriously, you don't remember the first time you rode Star Tours?
I was probably like 4. So, yeah.
Lightweight.
Don't call him a lightweight. He went on Star Tours when he was 4. He was lucky to pass the height requirement.
I'm kidding. I mean lightsaber.
I waited in a 3-hour line for Space Mountain, and it was totally worth it because it was the first time I'd done it, and it was right after they put the improvements in after 2005. And so, yeah, I did that. But AdvBlueDude, seriously, you have nothing on your first time.
I really don't like it. Like, I mean, let me give you context. I've been going to Disney since 1995. I was born in 1995. So, and it's all kind of just been there for me.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Do you go, like, multiple times a year or what?
Oh, no. Like occasionally. Yeah, like once a year, like once every few years. It kind of depends. Yeah. But, like, it's always, like, been there. It's never been like, oh, my God.
Right.
Actually, something to clarify for the people out there, in case no one knows. Where was our first Disney experience specifically? Which park in particular?
Specifically, mine was Disneyland. I believe you guys are
Disney World.
folk.
Yeah, we're World Brothers.
All right. Yeah. West Coast represent.
You're alone here.
We're Force Brothers.
I like yours better. Like, I will just say that right now.
So do I.
Thank you.
I don't know no else's, so I like mine.
I like yours better just in the extent that, like, I think it fits in way better in the environment. And of course you have the AT-ATs at the entrance, which are really cool. And
I love the AT-ATs.
And Disneyland, you know, it's like you have the whole indoor forest as a queue, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, God.
So remember the original ride, it took place, you're going to Endor, so that's a really neat idea.
It doesn't quite make sense, though, that you're going to Endor, but the queue starts in Endor.
Yeah, but if you look at it like the grand scheme.
Endor.
Well, also remember, it's a mix of planets, Adventure.
Well, yeah,
they also
really
got
cool.
They got Tatooine as the gift shop.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but he's talking about like
Tatooine. The gift shop was the shield bunker.
Oh, right, you're right. Good point. I don't know. It's kind of maybe it's like you got there and you're kind of wondering how you're going to get there. I don't know. It's like I guess the entrance.
Cool.
Right. It's still
It's
cool.
a really cool entrance.
Actually, in that respect, I kind of feel like maybe the Disneyland one does it a bit. Because think about it, the Disneyland one, it's like you enter and it's like a busy ass airport terminal, and that's exactly what it feels like. That's exactly what it is when you go.
Well, you have a terminal?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of cool.
Well, I mean, we
It
have a
is
terminal
cool.
too.
Well,
Not on the outside.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Like, what was your terminal look like? I have no
Yeah,
idea what
exactly.
yours
Ours
looks like, Tiki.
It's like meant to look like an airport and everything.
Yeah.
And so
Like inside,
like,
it looks exactly
so,
like it looks exactly the same.
Do you have any,
You guys
like,
have
do you have, like, a
Admiral
C-3PO?
Tokyo has a
Oh
baggage
yeah.
claim.
Oh yeah, we have.
Oh,
What?
they have a baggage claim?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
in the post show.
Yeah, we have, in our pre-show, don't we now have, like, a baggage claim?
Yeah, but it's a little bit different. That's like the security check,
Yeah, that's it.
which is chipmunked Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got a Buzz Lightyear knob, but more on that later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, you were saying, Tiki, about Admiral Akbar?
Oh yeah. Do you guys have the Admiral Akbar animatronic?
Both cues are exactly the same.
Okay, so just to start, I absolutely love that Admiral Akbar animatronic.
Yeah.
Like Admiral Akbar has been my favorite Star Wars character long before it was cool to like meme the shit out of him.
It's a trap!
It's a trap! No, I like that guy like way before it was cool to like. So I'm a hipster basically.
In Disney World, in the wheelchair entrance actually goes up in there.
Ooh.
What?
Man,
Yeah.
handicapped people get everything.
The wheelchair entrance in the
Dude.
Haunted Mansion goes
Dude,
into the
that's
servants'
insane.
quarters.
Oh my god.
It's actually
oh my,
really cool.
No, I need to go up there and fucking shake Admiral Advark's animatronic hand.
You
Oh,
know
you mean
that's
his claw?
I'm
Does he have
gonna.
claws?
I'm gonna.
Does he have
No, he
hands
has
or
hands.
claws?
He has hands.
Alright, I forgot if he has hands or
Well,
claws. I'm thinking Dr. Zoidberg.
whatever, I want to shake it.
That's not actually Admiral Akbar.
What?
Right, it's like, it's like one of his lieutenant guys, right? Like the guys that look
Oh,
like him?
really? Oh, okay.
It's just someone from his species.
Oh, that's such a jip. Give me Admiral Akbar. I don't want the
Well, he's in the
ride.
ride.
I don't want. Yeah, he's in the. Well, now he's in the ride. Was he always in the
Yeah.
ride?
No, he wasn't always in the ride.
That's the thing. Like, is the Admiral Akbar thing new, or has it been
Yes,
around?
it's new.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that explains it then.
In the ride, it's new. Yeah.
Guess it's okay. But still, Admiral Akbar
That's
type
kind of
guy.
disappointing that the cue it wasn't actually Admiral Akbar. I must say that's kind of crushing to my soul a little bit.
Sorry to ruin your dreams. You can still shake his hands. He won't respond. Probably just ask for the universal call. What? Tiki,
In the
what's
words of Rupert from Survivor, in the words of Rupert from Survivor, well, there go my dreams.
In the immortal words of Mark Hamill, no, no,
In the
no.
immortal words of James Earl Jones, no. And in the immortal words of Norman Banks, no.
Norman Banks? I think you mean Norman Bates.
Yeah, that's what I said, Norman Bates.
It must be the mask that I thought you said Banks. That'd be hilarious.
Norman
Mr. Banks had a son, too!
Okay, now I want to make that a fake trailer, BlueDragonFive. Do I have permission to make that a fake trailer?
A vague trailer?
Oh, okay. I'm
Yes,
back.
I want to literally edit that together and make it a fan trailer. Where the Banks family has one twisted member, and it's Norman.
We'll talk about it later, but anyway.
Alright.
Back to Star Tours. Okay, so what I remember about my first experience in the Florida one. That's the only one I know, and I love it. The ride on the whole, and I'll get into this a little more, I suppose, but it's such an immersive experience. You're walking in there, as Mr. Blue would say, you're walking through there, the Forest Moon of Endor in line. I'll admit, at times when you're there, I mean, when it rains, it kind of sucks to be there. But I remember. Yeah, well, sometimes it gets really packed. And now they got the whole. Currently, they have the whole line thing. Like you punch a ticket and then come back later.
Oh right, right.
Well, not anymore.
What, they got rid of that now?
Sort of. Sort of.
Well, I mean, don't punch a ticket, but you get a receipt or something, don't you? Or
Well,
something?
yeah, but now you have to. They have magic.
Now it's like all digital, right?
What?
Yeah. It's like all
With magic
digital.
bands, the fast pass is right on the wristband, but you have to reserve it the night before.
Oh, jeez.
It's ridiculous.
Whatever happened to the simple things? Anyway, so
the economic depression happened to the simple things.
even the old ride, I remember it's just the idea you're in the Star Wars universe and then you're getting on that ride and you're part of the adventure. Just being part of the adventure was the biggest appeal to me about that ride. You're going in there, it's kind of like you've never been on this ride before. Like you don't control anything, so you're literally along for the ride with some of these cool characters. And I gotta admit, as a kid, I had a very, very passing knowledge of Star Wars. I knew very, very little about them. So I would watch. I mean, I knew because again it was very not oversaturated in a bad way. Just everyone knows Star Wars. It's like Superman. You know it.
Yeah,
well, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you know, like if someone says R2-D2, oh yeah, I know him, or like C-3PO, or like the Chewbacca. Everyone knows Chewbacca. You know, we know these characters, and yeah, I go into this and I say, oh man, I wasn't really just coming in from a fan's perspective as a kid. I was just going into it like, man, this is fun adventure. These some neat looking characters. I might like know a little more about them.
Right.
Fun experience. I didn't really truly get into Star Wars until years later, but I mean, I always knew about it, and this thing did help the joy I felt for it years later. So it was a really immersive experience. I think it's good to get people into Star Wars this ride. Overall.
All right.
So should we go through the original ride pre-stuff?
Well, if you want me to, I have some memories of my own.
Oh, I'm sorry. Memories or the actual ride summary?
Well, memories.
Oh, by all means, go into the memory.
Okay, so my first experience with this ride was actually watching the footage of it on the Disneyland Fun video.
Those are cool.
Yeah, and it was very cool. Like, you know, because it showed everyone like lining up and the doors opening, and it just blew my mind, BlueDragonFive, because the doors would open and you'd see the Star Speeder, right?
Yeah.
And then the next shot would be like they're all in it and they're like going around, and you know, so I'd be like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand simulator technology as a kid, so I was like, what is happening?
Tiki, I'm with you. I was in that same boat. How does this work? Man, that's kind of cool. Right, like, it feels like we're actually going into space.
But I remember I was actually, like, I was a very timid young lad as a kid. It actually took me until I was about 14 to ride this, a couple of trips in. And, yeah, like, all I can remember, man, first of all, I don't know, I must have just hit it at a really good day, because I remember there was, like, no line, and it's usually a really popular ride. So I was able to just go through it, like, 3 times in a row. So I remember that. I remember just really liking it and just being like, okay, I gotta do that again. But let's see, I mean, besides some of the more intimate, kind of more detailed stuff that I want to point out later, just what I remember about it was just how much more realistic the flight movement felt compared to other simulators. Mostly simulators where it's just like a theater of seats that actually move, you know what I mean? Just what really struck me was how the whole building would move, you know what I mean? It wasn't just the seats, it was just like, and you're right, it absolutely felt like, and the way that ride kind of plays with gravity and everything like that, kind of does the light speed effect. Like, I was just blown away from a technical level. I mean, of course, it's, you know, the movie itself, it's not the most, like, pristine. I mean, now I'm sure it looks great, but back then, by the time I wrote it, it was getting a little outdated, the film itself. Oh God, especially the pre-show. We'll talk more about the pre-show later, but yeah, I mean, that's basically all I got. You know, I just remember, you know, besides the going on it like three times in a row and loving it, I just remember being really impressed by just how realistic the movement felt. You know, even as like a 14-year-old, where I was a little bit more of a critic of stuff like that. You know, where I kind of knew more about how that stuff worked. So it's like so it wasn't like I was a little kid that was like entirely like, you know, convinced of the effect, but it was still like, oh man, that's like really cool, you know. So, all right, that's about all I got.
Yeah.
Adventure Blue Dude, I know you don't have your first memory, but what's your fondest memory with this ride?
I don't know. All
Oh,
my
come
memories are
on.
fond. All my memories are
Don't
fond.
make me force choke you.
God damn it, I'm not a sentimentalist.
All right, fair enough.
Hey, wait, hold. Adventure Blue Dude.
Yo,
You will recall something.
I will recall something.
There we go. Go ahead.
You will recall a childhood memory.
I mean, I really don't have any because
You had a
How
fun
many
time.
when you've been going to the park since the fucking year you were born?
that's what I mean. Like, it's always been there.
Ben Kenobi is your father.
Like, as
Oh
weird
my
as that
God, you make no sense.
sounds. What? What? Like, as weird as that's.
I just said you make no sense.
No, I mean, like, as weird as it sounds, it's like it's always been there for me because I've been there so many times. So I've kind of been desensitized, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm the same way with Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and yeah, I still have a fucking novel's worth of memories from Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. I'm sorry, Adventure Blue Dude. Actually,
Did you ever get on
That's
the?
fine.
Did you ever take a picture on the land speeder?
I
No,
did.
not the land speeder, but the bikes that were in.
Yeah, the speeder bike? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, speeder bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were so cool.
It's still there, too.
I know. It's like
Yeah.
rusted to the ground, though, isn't it?
Probably. I think
It's
I
fun,
think I have a I have a picture with Chewbacca actually too
Oh,
Oh,
Chewbacca.
on the speeder bike. Yeah,
Nice.
maybe. Pretty sure.
Why do they have him going around the parks? I'm saying all
You-
the other characters, but I
that
just
would be a
don't.
great walk-around character. I would
They used
totally
to.
stand in line to meet Chewbacca.
Yeah,
R2D2.
Oh, that would be another.
they've done that
Yeah.
during Star Wars weekends.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah.
Guys, really quick before we get into it, I just wanted to know something really interesting. The weekend that this opened, Disneyland remained open for a 60-hour marathon from January 9th to 11th.
Hmm.
What do you think about that? Like, that's like crazy for me because it's like they do these 24-hour marathons now, and they make a big freaking deal out of it. But holy crap, a 60-hour marathon? I can't imagine.
Do you guys recall when Return of the Jedi came out?
No, I was
Return?
far too young.
I was
I don't
I
even
was
think
not
I was
born.
born.
No, Return of the Jedi was 87.
Yeah, I wasn't
83.
born.
Well,
83.
83. You're sure?
No,
Yes, Return of the
Empire was
Jedi.
83, Jedi was 87.
No. Empire was
Okay,
80.
Okay, remember now, either 81 or 83, probably 81. I think Strikes Back came out. Am I correct in that?
It might have been 79 or 80.
I'm pretty sure it's like 80 something for.
I know it's 80. It's post.
I think it's 81 or 83. I can't recall, but
All the
regardless,
Star Wars nerds are just yelling at us. It's 83. Return of the Jedi is 83.
Yeah.
That was like far before I was born.
okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, then 81 must be Strikes Back.
Yes.
But okay, 83. Because I was thinking like if it was like 86 or 87, then basically that's why it's so the opening of that long because it's a huge people coming off of that movie are going to be on that ride like crazy.
Yeah.
True. Good point.
But still, I guess, actually, think about it. It's kind of in this weird lull of Star Wars, because remember, this is before the prequels, before anything, and really all you had is the fan speculation. Remember, Kevin Smith, he does his wonderful video, if you find it on YouTube, of the whole Q&A he did for the Star Wars celebration. Really great Star Wars. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to love listening to that, if you can find it. Regardless, he mentioned that there was kind of all you had was speculation at this time over what next. Before they announced that they're going to do the prequels, before it was just you playing with the action figures and working on the expand universe stuff. That's all you really had for Star Wars in terms of coming up with the next adventure. But we got the ride, and I guess that's why it was really popular because people were looking for their next fix of Star Wars, the diehard people, especially if they're coming off Return of the Jedi. Oh my God, what's going to happen next? And like, there's a new continuation to the story in some way. Sign me up.
Right, right. I totally hear you. You're right.
And actually, yeah, it is because Star Tours they destroyed the Death Star 3. So
Yeah. So what's
yeah,
up with that Death Star, by the
No,
way?
it's the way I interpreted it was it's actually taking place during Return of the Jedi.
But
no, it's been
it's all
confirmed that it's the Death
constructed
Star
though.
3.
Are they sure?
Yes,
Death Star? Who makes a Death Star 3?
the Empire.
Well, the Empire's done.
Yes, they are.
But the
But
Emperor's dead.
So are we sure that Star Tours is taking place post Return of the Jedi?
yes,
I say it's during. I don't care. I still say it's during. Because it makes no sense if it's not
I'd be
during.
in the argument to say it's in between
but if it's during, why would
Star Wars
R2D2
and
and
Empire.
C3PO be there?
Oh, wait. Where were they during? Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Technically, R2D2 regardless has to be there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now things have changed. I'm talking about back then.
That's a good point, though. That's a good point.
You're right, though. I don't know, maybe it's just now a continuity fun story.
Well, I mean, I think that's what it's always kind of been considered. Except they have kind of tied Star Tours into the continuity in some ways.
I think the true fact of the matter is they didn't want to shoot new footage, so they just use old footage, but use like some of the new techniques they got from Pixar and their new editing systems and so forth to
Right.
to kind of craft something together. It does look pretty neat from different angles and stuff, but it is pretty much old footage of
Well, I mean,
destroying the Death Star.
there's a couple new things in there. There's that whole the whole flight down into the hang glider, which is right at the beginning of the ride.
True. That's cool. I love that. I still, as a kid, I remember being in there and just being floored by that. Just the idea.
Right.
For the first time on like a 4D motion type ride. I keep calling it 4D motion. You guys probably know the better technical terms, but I keep saying that.
Or it's just motion simulator.
Yeah, motion simulator ride. I just remember being on it. It's so immersive, and just you're in there like, oh my god, we're gonna crash into that! Look out! George Lucas looking guy, duck! I'm sorry.
In fact, during that hangar scene, you actually see the mighty microscope from Adventure Through Inner Space.
Twice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, really? Twice?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then like I remember in rides like later on I would go in there similar to that in like Universal with the Jimmy Neutron blast or the the Yogi Bear. Well,
oh my God, Hanna-Barbera, that was great.
I love them both.
And then, of course, Jurassic Park has the mouse ears.
Yeah, and Jaws used to have mouse ears.
They have the name Michael.
Yeah, that was the one in Jaws.
To be like a slam against Eisner.
Yeah, that was the one in Jaws.
No, I thought the one at Jurassic Park was Michael.
I don't think so. I know that the one in Jaws said Michael. I don't know about the one in Jurassic Park.
I think they might both say Michael.
They could, yeah. I wish Hanna-Barbera was still open because Dick Dastardly is wonderful and nobody knows who he is.
Hey, I know who he is.
You know who he is, but not a lot of other people do.
But he's dastardly.
I know, I love Dick Dastardly.
And he's a dick.
He's got a snickering dog.
Yes. Oh, Mudley.
Alright, guys, so do you want to, like, kind of, where do you want to go with this? Do you want to, like, kind of describe the ride or what?
Well, I was figuring I could,
Let's go to Endor.
Yeah, let's go to Endor. Okay, let's go through it. I got some stuff in front of me here if you guys don't mind me reading through it.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So, essentially, the old ride, we have this, we're going through and we're going the Star Tours and pretty much the Star Speeder 3000, am I correct?
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
First of all, I gotta say, I love that thing's design so much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
So we're getting ready to go on the Star Speeder 3000 to go on a tour of the cosmos. And not the cosmos because we're in Star Wars, we're going on a tour of the stars, so to speak. And we have a greenhorn captain. We got Captain Rex and R2D2 being our drivers and our means of conveyance in this tour. And this tour guide is our captain is voiced by Paul Rubens.
Yes, Paul Rubens.
Pee Wee Herman.
Indeed.
And Batmite.
I believe did Paul Rubens have a voice in Brave Little Toaster?
I don't think so, but don't quote me on that. I think you're not thinking of the main shopkeep guy, right? Because that's not him. That's Joe Rand.
I know there was something that Rubens did that was
I mean, he's done voices
for
before. I don't think.
Disney. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I can't.
I'm sure he has. I can't remember right now. But anyway, so yeah, Paul
Yeah,
Rubens.
I don't think it was Toaster either.
Anyway, so essentially, we
But,
got this new Greenhorn captain. Says, "This is my first."
Oh no, I'm sorry. I know what it was. It was the voice of the Navigator from Flight of the Navigator.
Okay.
That's what he did to get him the role of Rex. I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. But yeah, so Captain Rex, he's kind of a Greenhorn captain. He's saying this is his first flight, and he's nervous. And originally, in the conception of the ride, if I'm correct, gentlemen, originally he was supposed to be psychotic, wasn't he?
Oh.
Wasn't
I
Captain
haven't
Rex?
heard that. That's interesting.
I heard from an interview. I can't find it. Yeah, I think originally he was intended to be like this psychotic Captain Haley, almost like a Death Wish, where he was like a robot that went haywire, and then he's like recklessly driving on purpose.
He was also voiced by Paul Rubens.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
And essentially now it's been changed. Like he's Captain Rex. He's a Greenhorn captain. He's an innocent guy. We like this guy. He's always said, why wouldn't we like this guy? And he's driving the Star Speeder, and it's his first time. He's a little reckless, and it's not his fault though. He's just nervous and stuff, and things aren't going his way. And we're going to the forest moon of Endor. And before we go into the ride, however, we do have like a safety video playing, and let's talk about that.
Okay. Oh God, this is the most '80s thing ever.
Oh, but one thing before we get to the safe video, one thing real quick.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention, I love just the design, how much thought was put into the ride's design, stuff that you're walking through, you see like the machinery of everything, you got like C-3PO and R2-D2 in there. And
that's great.
interesting little factoid, those animatronics, I'm not sure which park, it's probably Disneyland, I could be wrong, but they actually have the original C-3PO and R2-D2 suits that have been transformed into animatronics.
Oh wow! Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were modified into animatronic figures.
Wow, that's really cool.
I don't know which park it is officially. I think it's Disneyland, though I could be wrong, because that was the first one, right?
Yeah.
And George Lucas did all the promotional stuff for that one, so I'm pretty sure.
Another kind of cool thing to note in the queue is that you pass by, I believe it's 2 robots, or I know there's at least one, which is one of the main robots that you pass by like right before you get into the boarding area, and that robot was actually a duck in America Sings.
Yeah, a bunch of them were the goose bots in the queue.
Right.
For America Sings.
Yeah, so there's quite a few of them actually. So it's like it's basically all it is it's just stripped animatronics from America Sings. So I think that's kind of cool.
Okay, so after we make our way through this really well-crafted environment, really cool. As a kid, I just remember going through and saying, "Oh man, this is cool." And use like the lighting from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, and of course we have a reference to Tom Arrow. Paging Mr. Tom Arrow.
Man, that's cool.
That used to be that was also on the People Mover in Disney World.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And then there's Paging Mr. Igor Sickle, which is George Lucas backwards.
Igor Sickle?
Yep.
Man, that's cool.
Igor Sickle.
And of course, they worked in THX 1138, didn't they?
Yeah, somewhere. I forget where.
Very sure it's like at the end of the ride, like it's there, it's like on a clipboard or something.
Right,
yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, after we make our way through this really wonderfully crafted and a lot of wonderful things put in this environment, your really immersive experience again, we get a safety video. And first of all, we walk in these little ramps, and it feels like really upbeat and terminal-like. You're walking in there, and you stay in front of the lines, and you have the video playing on the monitor. It has like, station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you walk in the doors. But anyway, go with the safety video. Let's talk about it.
So, like I said, it's the most gloriously 80s thing ever. I can't get over the hair of the hostess.
Yeah.
She's just got, like, correct me if I'm wrong, she's got, like, these kind of, like Princess Leia buns going on, or is it something else?
I can't remember what she looked like, but I think...
She has, like, a thing on the side of her head.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
I remember now,
right.
yeah. She just got, like, one of them, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. So I remember about this. I liked it because they were in the. They actually had people in the suits, like all the different alien suits. Yeah, like
And
Chewbacca
they're
sitting in
actually
there.
in the Star Speeder too.
Yeah, I love that. I love seeing like Chewbacca getting on there. And he's like sitting next to a little annoying guy.
Well, he's sitting
Hmm.
next to a kid who proceeds to like take a flash picture right in his face, and
Yeah,
Chewbacca gets all pissed off. He's like,
yeah, I love that.
"Oh!"
See, that's what you do for like a thing about the rules. The thing like Back to the Future, they had the weird thing where it's like the crash test dummies,
Wait,
the
what do you mean?
alien-looking crash test dummies. That's what they had in the Back to the Future ride.
So like, like what? How they demonstrate the flash pictures?
Oh, they had it pretty much. I think like explode in some guy's face or something. I think
Oh
it was.
God,
Well, not explode. You know,
that's
like it was
great.
like the little, like the powder burns, like how they used to take pictures way back in the old days.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's usually how they
I hear
demonstrate it.
you.
I think didn't they have something similar to that in this one anyway? Like the flash is like a little overdone because it's an '80s camera.
Yeah, yeah.
So regardless, but I like how that's a way you show like what
Oh my
not to do. If Chewbacca's mad at you, you don't want that.
No, and it's great because it's like even though it's like obviously you're not actually writing Chewbacca, the message still gets sent across.
Do we have Jawas in that? Do you guys remember if we have Jawas?
Uh, I don't know. I think there might be a couple.
Ah, no.
I know
Oh,
that there's, if not Akbar himself, I know that there's at least an
Yeah.
Akbar-like creature.
do we have any of the pig people from the from Empire?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm not quite sure. It's been a
I
while.
think we do. The point is, I like the fact that they show these characters we know, or at least know the races of these characters, and
Right.
being that
Yeah.
it makes sense that it's like a logical logic. It makes sense that okay, yeah, they're going on a tour of the galaxy and they're from different parts of the planet. They want to see new parts, like Endor, for instance. And the idea, I don't know if it was always in the original ride. I'm not sure if the only location was that, but I think the implication was they
Yeah,
do
the
that for
only
now.
location
That's
was Endor, yeah.
yeah, like the main
That was your final destination.
yeah, but the implication for like the ride now is that it goes in several places, and which it does. But I mean, here in the original ride, I thought it was like just you went to Endor, but you could also go to other places, not just a one-stop tour. I could be wrong. I'm saying like you just
I
happen
think
to be
they
going to
imply
Endor.
that, like they imply that in the queue, but yeah, like
Yeah,
you're just happening to go to Endor, yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. I can't quite recall, but yeah, I think that was it. Anyway, I
Uh-huh.
just love the idea of they're wanting to take a tour of this great galaxy they're a part of. And it's really neat. Like, it makes sense. Yeah, well, maybe Chewbacca wants to visit Hoth or something again. I don't know. Maybe he wants to go to Coruscant. Ever give any thought to that? Maybe he's tired of Kashyyyk. Maybe he freaking hates Life Day. Anyway, so yeah, basically yeah, they all. I'm sorry. Anything else about the safety ride?
Not that I can think of, except Chewbacca freaking out, just brilliant.
It is brilliant. I don't think it doesn't really date to me the whole thing.
No, I don't. Besides the stewardess,
I mean, the
who I
hairstyle's
think
like
is
an alien
ridiculously
hairstyle.
outdated.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of love how it just feels like the old Star Wars movies, and it's still. I wouldn't have minded if they kept that today, to be honest with you. But we'll get into that later. Point is, and it holds up regardless, in my opinion.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, do you want to get into the actual ride now? We want to take a step through the big old open doors.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that moment. I love that moment every time it happens when the doors open and the Star Wars theme kicks in and you
That is
actually
cool.
see the physical Star Speeder, which I think is just really cool.
I like just the ambiance. Sometimes it doesn't always go according to plan. Rides can only work so well. But just with the ambiance and you see the people, like the doors have just closed, and now you're walking in there. It's the idea it's like an empty room now.
Right,
It's
right.
like, what happened to those people?
Yeah.
Whoa! Like, we're getting on this fresh. Like, we're the first people in this thing. Awesome. Something like that. Despite the fact there's lines of people. It's like, oh man, they went across the galaxy. I want to go next. Yeah, something really cool. Yeah, anyway, yeah, there's like a great momentous build of like now the doors may have like that, if not a burst of air. I don't think you get a burst of air anymore, but you just hear like this, like that, dun, 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 dun. And they play that kind of that happy like Japanese high school theme.
Right, right.
Like you hear like the bells ring like dun, 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 dun. It's like an airport sort of
Yeah.
thing, you know. really neat. And you walk in there, you take your seat, and it's like really then it gets closed off. And like, oh boy, we're in for the adventure now. And then we see Captain Rex. He's there, and he's saying, "Oh, hello, people! It's my first time riding there. R2, are we ready to go?" I said, "Beep doop, beep doop." And then we're heading off.
Yep.
And,
Oh God.
and essentially, the ride, I can break it down pretty much just 4 points right here. Is one, basically we take a wrong turn in the port. I'm sorry, would you guys like to get on some of this recapping?
No, you can.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. So we take a wrong turn in the port, and we're going the wrong way. We're like, whoa! And then we're out of there. Like, oh, that was a wrong turn. Sorry, folks. Again, we feel this. We like this character, even though he's endangering our lives.
Oh yeah. And
Which is
I think
hilarious.
this is like a perfect example of like a something goes wrong attraction.
Yeah, which is all. What Star Wars is all about. Especially, it feels so in keeping what we have with the droids. The droids are always getting themselves in some mess or another.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So what happens next is at the
Lightspeed.
light speed. Okay, and then you miss the moon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you go right past Endor.
Right past it.
Yes.
Failed.
Then we end up in a meteor
Yes.
shower, which as a kid astounded me of sheer awesomeness. I was like, oh my god, where are we now? It's like we just come out of Lightspeed. Man, remember, I wasn't well versed in Star Wars when I first saw this, so it blew my mind as a kid. Like, I knew the characters, I barely have seen the films, if not for very few clips.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
We're going to a meteor shower, which is something we never really got that much of in Star Wars, with the exception of that one scene in Empire.
Empire, yeah.
And this is like genuine,
by
like
the sock puppet.
yeah. But remember, these aren't even regular meteors. These aren't kibble and bits like the old movie. This is.
But the cool thing about this one, yeah, they're like ice meteors.
I know. I love that. I love going through the icy environments. I'm sure that reminded you guys of that. Was it Space Mountain?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Space Mountain, right? The one where you go through and you see the Yeti.
Oh
No,
that's
not.
Expedition
That's
Everest.
the Matterhorn.
Oh, sorry, Matterhorn.
And the Matterhorn too. You see the Yeti in both.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got my rides confused. I'm on a roller coaster. Yeah, sorry.
Space
good.
Mountain. Oh wow, that'd be a really interesting. To be fair, I think Disco Yeti would actually fit more in Space Mountain than it does in Everest.
Well, Everest kind of makes. Oh, you know, it'd be so cool if they did something like that and they had like the. If they did something like that again, you really go into Hoth. If they ever like change the ride again with the new movies coming out, and you have like the, you have like the snow monster from Empire.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah, right.
A Wampa.
Yeah, the one. That'd be so
But I
cool.
mean,
They homage the Disney one.
Right. Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool. Get it?
Man, but speaking of Hoth, like I think this whole like ice asteroid field, like especially when you crash into it and you're going through that tunnel, I think it's kind of put there to kind of remind the audience, kind of put them in a Hoth-like environment. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, okay, we can't actually go to Hoth, but here's a little bit of ice action for you, because you know you got it. And it's right in the middle, so it's that's my favorite scene too, BlueDragonFive. I'm with you.
Growing with Batman and episodes like Heart of Ice and Mr. Freeze, just I have a love for ice effects and stuff like that. And of course, with Frozen coming out now, I mean we've seen the advancement of ice effects. But still, just going into this, I remember just being it's such an immersive experience. You're going in there and you hear like the ice crystallizing. You're going through there and like, you're shattering. It's like oh man, we are in a new. What is happening now? We're like an environment within an environment. Whoa. And then we're out of there like by the skin of our teeth. It's like the whole journey. It feels like kind of what stuff Han Solo would go through in his original Star Wars movies when you really think about it.
Right, exactly.
And one of the perfect lines I think crystallizes all of Star Wars. Actually, I think it was an improv line if I'm correct, but it became the running gag. And I mentioned this much earlier as a quote, but I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, that did.
And I'm sure a pilot says this too.
Uh-huh.
At some
Yeah, I
point.
think he says it like right when he crashes into the meteor. He's like,
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then, if I'm correct here, I'm pretty sure I am, but then we somehow after I don't know if we light speed again or if we're just there, but if you guys remember anything else, like by all means, let me know. But then we're in the Empire's camp, so to speak.
Yeah, you light speed there.
Yeah. Okay. So we light speed again, and then we're in the Empire's camp, and then things are getting dangerous. Then our red leaders and so
Oh no! We're caught in a tractor beam!
forth. Awesome.
Oh, how cool is that tractor beam effect?
Yeah, it was cool. Oh yeah, we light speed, and then we see the Death Star, and then we're caught in the tractor beam. Then our rebel friends help us out, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The rebel friends help us out, and then we see because the Death Star. I'm convinced it's second. Because why would they attack Endor again? Anyway, regardless, so now we're in proximity to the Endor moon, I believe. But regardless, we're in proximity to the thing, and then we're like heading there, and basically the rebels say, "Okay, you stick close to us, and we'll protect you going through this thing, so you guys don't get in the middle of anything, get your darn fool head shot off, so to speak." Then they're basically that we get to go through, and he says, "I've always wanted." I think he says, "I've always wanted to do this."
I've always wanted to do this.
And then basically we, through his perspective and our perspectives combined, we get to experience what Luke went through in A New Hope.
Wish fulfillment for Star Wars fans, right there.
Yeah, we get to go through. We get to go through the Death Star, avoiding all the little buildings that are inside it, all the great modeling work done back then, all awesome stuff. We get to go through and we get to see the second Death Star. I'm convinced because they use the same footage from the movie of the thing blowing up, and then we get out of there, and I think like some weird way that you can see it exploding behind you. I'm not sure how that. I forgot how that works. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But regardless, really cool stuff. We saved the day. Yay for us!
Woo!
And then, to quote Obi-Wan Kenobi, another happy landing occurs when we head back to the Star Tours location or somewhere, or the Rebel. Do we end up in the Rebel base, or do we end up back in the Star?
I'm pretty sure it's Star Tours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We're ending up there, and then, of course, our pilot's still not the best pilot. He's ramming. He lands in there, but he can't stop saying, "Look out!"
And he almost kills George Lucas.
Yeah, it's not actually George Lucas, but it's a George Lucas lookalike, which would have been so much cooler.
Not?
It's not. It would have been so much cooler if it was him.
I know. That's sad.
Hey, sorry to disillusion you, Tiki, but a lot of people thought that. If it makes you feel any better. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, I know. You know what? I'm still gonna think that.
Sad folk music. Anyway, sorry.
Oh god. So.
Thoughts on this ride? Original.
I mean, it's great. I think it stood the test of time. I mean, it was getting up there in age just a little bit. I feel like the simulator itself never aged. Like, I feel like the simulator part was always really brilliant. The only thing that aged it all was the actual movie. So.
Yeah. I don't think it ages. I think it ages as much as the films do. Because it fits in keeps with those films, and then it really depends how much you view them as aging, because they're kind of set in their own universe.
I think it ages a little more, especially since Paul Rubens is the main actor.
No, it never got old for me. I don't know. It might just be me.
Well, to me, I think they definitely made an improvement when they went to... Because I always thought that it'd be cool to have, like, different star speeders going to different destinations. Like, my idea would be instead of the randomized destinations, you just had, like, each star speeders had a different film, which was a different destination.
It would be amazing if you could do this. Okay, if you could do this. If they had the money and the resources, which Disney has the money, but I'm not sure they have the resources. If the ride was big enough that you could go in there, and you could, like, there'd be like not 100, but like there'd be a bunch of different, like, literally simulator rides. You can go in there and basically each one's a different destination, and a different adventure ensues in each one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying that'd be awesome.
It's inefficient, though.
I do like the direction they went in, though, because I like the randomized stuff. I like the fact that it makes it so rewritable. So with that in mind, you guys want to kind of get into Adventure Continues a little bit?
Well, one last thing before.
Okay.
Just wanted to kind of overall say how I felt about the old ride real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I feel pretty much the same on the other one, but I'm just saying that little bit of nostalgia for the first one. Overall, it's just a fun adventure. Again, very immersed in the world of Star Wars. This ride when you go on to it. It feels very immersed, especially with, I guess if it is dated, I don't know, I like that. It's like you get to step back in time with the original Star Wars in a way. And again, most of my memories are from the 90s,
That's
and
true.
I guess I'm stuck in 90s mode, so I guess I'm just in close proximity overall. But overall, it's a really great it's a wild ride, and it just feels, if I could just sum it up with one word, you just feel triumphant going on it. And also, I think it might be one of the first rides in the space, or at least the first simulator ride in the space on the Disney premises.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was the first simulator. Yeah.
Maybe not just on the Disney premises. I mean, MGM had it first.
Actually, it was
by
based on
proxy.
real-life space simulation technology.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they took it from the technology they took from the Army.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, Disney has access to everything.
Yeah, they're Disney.
Yeah, because we keep saying Disney, and it is technically Disney. It is technically Disney because it wasn't Disney. I don't know. In my mind, I just keep thinking MGM because it was in MGM originally.
Mm.
I mean, at one time. Then now Disney Hollywood Studios.
I'm with you, BlueDragonFive. I call it MGM too.
Okay, so let's address the changes made in the Adventure Continues.
Yes, this is more your guys' territory.
Cool.
Okay, well, let's see. So 2000 from I'm just going from MGM because we're both in that general vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
From 89 to 2010, we have the Star Tours. We have a load of laughs, a lot of fun. Mostly I remember. Sorry. But, it's a very fun ride. A lot of fun's had, wondrous adventures. An old great Star Speeder. It's with sporting a blue paint job. Cool stuff there. Then 2010, there was a weird stop for a while. And I'm thinking, what happened? Or in 2009, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Or, regardless, for a while, there was a stop. And I was thinking, man, what happened there? Thankfully, I wasn't around for the change because it would have been a dramatic or traumatic in my. I think a lot of cases of the ride changing. It stopped. Like, what? No, the world is ending. No. What is going to replace this? No, how can you kill Star Wars? Curse you! Thankfully, that didn't happen. What happened instead was that they were making improvements to Star Wars. Again, I don't know if at this time to decide we're going to try to buy Star Wars. We're going to really improve the brand, so now when we come back to it, we're going to come back stronger and have the best Star Wars around.
Mm-hmm.
Have some of the best Star Wars around, but I guess they came back stronger with new improvements. The Imagineers really worked their magic on this. It really sells you on the Disney ride as a whole, just really improved, pushing the technology to tell a great story and have a great experience with a film and or attraction. And in this case, we got improvements such as a randomizer, which gave us 11 options, which I believe, I could be wrong here, I read it somewhere, it's 54 possible outcomes per ride experience. I mean, well, riding the thing overall, like 54 different experiences.
Yes.
And it's in 3D now.
Yes.
And now sporting kind of an orange paint job on the Star Speeder 3000, which I gotta say, I don't think you were here for it at AdvBlueDude, but I love that ship.
Yeah, I really do like the Star Speeder 1000.
Is it 1,000 now, or was it 3,000?
It was 3,000 before, now it's 1,000.
Oh, now it's 1. Why'd they go down?
Because it's a prequel.
All right. Well, wait, are they sure? Oh, right, it is officially a prequel. I forgot. Yeah. Darn. Anyway, yeah, you're right. It is.
Which doesn't make sense, given the title is The Adventure Continues, so...
That's the thing.
Right there.
Oh, an oxymoron. Anyway, so yeah, now it's sporting an orange. It kind of makes sense. You have like an orange paint job, and then it becomes blue in the future, if you think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even though in the future becomes 80s-like.
Right.
Batman, it's funny, Batman's done the same thing with Dark Knight Returns, so I guess it's all fine. Anyway, regardless, so yeah, I love that Star Speeder. It's just a huge thing. I remember, really quick thing here, I remember in the gift shop of the Star Tours ride, I wanted to buy the huge one, like the one you put like, almost like fully built action figures. Regardless, just having the ride, because I love vehicles, I love my Batmobiles.
Uh-huh.
Even like the Spider-Mobile from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You gotta love them. Vehicles are cool. And I like
Actually,
the big one.
I'm glad you brought up that gift shop because that's one thing to kind of talk about with the original. Like, just I know we're kind of into Adventure Continues now, but
Go
first
on.
of all, were you guys sponsored by Energizer?
Weren't we?
We're sponsored by something.
I think
Well,
we're.
did you guys get those weird ass posters at the end like we got?
I mean, I'll look it up.
Remember, Energizer had a deal with Star Wars at some point because they had Darth Vader Energizer commercials.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, they had these posters of all the different Star Tours destinations you could go to. So there was like one for Hoth, one for Kashyyyk, like really cool. So I really, really always liked that hallway. And then just I don't know, I think it's one of the first rides to do the whole exit into a gift shop thing, but it did it really well.
It did. It really did. You're absolutely right about that.
And you've got to love well, at least at Disneyland, I'm not sure what's at Disney World, but at Disneyland there's an X-wing above the cash register, and
It is Star Tours.
Awesome.
It is Energizer. Yeah.
Okay, right on. Okay, so
You know what would have been so cool? Because Tatooine's like part of outside the gift shop here at Tatooine.
What?
It would be so cool if they had the cantina as a place you can eat.
People have been talking about that for
Yeah,
years.
people have been talking about that to death.
And you know what you should have? You should have like the band playing, like animatronics of the band playing music.
Yeah.
We want to play that one song again. All right, let's do it.
And maybe at certain tables, maybe at like certain tables or like at the bar, you have an animatronic of the walrus looking guy.
My friend doesn't like you either.
You'd be a hired actor for that one to say, my friend doesn't like you. Of course, when he goes on break, though, then people are going
Just
to
have
want to
a
know.
random guy just come up to you. My friend doesn't like you. That'd be great. Oh my god.
Then randomly, an actor's going to come in there, he's going to chop the arm off, it's like it pops off, like it's pre-programmed to pop off or something.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Then he gets hauled away, and then he comes back out again. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I'm sorry to progress. The gift shop, a lot of cool stuff. I think there was this thing where they basically would they make the thing of your face in the Han Solo Carbonite?
Yes, but that was. Were they doing that in the gift shop? Because I thought they were only doing that during.
They would do that. They would put your face into posters, all kinds of stuff.
I know this was like a physical model.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that's the thing.
They did it during Star Wars weekends last year, but they would.
And they still do it. They do it now. I don't know if they did it back then though. I can't recall.
Do they?
I know they do it now. I don't know if they did it back then.
Because I know what they did was they did the face scan.
Yeah.
And then they sent it into a company, and like 5 months later, they'd mail it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to do that.
I would do it too.
I don't know. I kind of.
They're also doing. They're also doing Stormtrooper action figures.
Of yourself?
Yeah.
Oh man, you can literally have. Oh man, that sounds so cool. You can have your face under the storm.
That sounds cool. Oh,
that would be awesome. Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
Alright, so we should probably get back
to... But one last thing about the gift shop, real quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it still applies now. They still have it, but they had like the giant, the Star Tours spaceship, like the big one, because I like the big vehicles, like the 12, like the foot long, or like the big ones. They can actually feel like a full action figure in.
Right.
And they had those things. And I thought, oh man, so I love the vehicles. I put this right next to my Batmobile. I don't really collect Star Wars because it's like too much to get into.
Oh yeah.
And especially for vehicles, because I love vehicles. The most Star Wars vehicles I have are like the Happy Meal toys with the bobbleheads, where they're in the spaceships. That's pretty much it.
I have all those.
Yeah, as do I. And the thing was great about that is like I wanted the Star Tours one. The problem was Disney overcharges for the stuff, so it should be like a $40 toy, which is reasonable for like the big thing. It's all detailed stuff. You get a 3PO and a R2D2 in there. I don't know if they probably changed it over time with the pilots, but regardless, they charge $90 for it. So I think, oh man, that's too much. Plus you got to haul it from like the vacation destination, so it's not worth it in the grand scheme of things.
Bob.
Yeah, and I wanted it so bad. But this most recent time I went there, I got the closest thing I could get, the smallest size I could get.
Mm-hmm.
I got like the little. Unfortunately, they only sold in like the one where you buy multiple spaceships, and you get. I only want the one spaceship though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I would buy them, and I really wouldn't need the others. And I'd just be getting. I don't know. I might change my mind if I ever go back down there soon. Hopefully, I don't know, at some point go back down there. But regardless, I got like the little cheap one, like you reel it back. But it's really neat though. I just love having the ship and you have like little R2D2 that's out there popping out of it. Really neat stuff. I'm sorry, I love that design of that ship, and I just love the big ride stuff. Like, I love the DeLorean that could fit 8 people in. I would love to have that DeLorean. But regardless, cool products on Star Tours. I'd love to see that ship marketed more so you can buy like other versions of it. They're just like the bigger like a more reasonably sized version of it. Anyway, I'm sorry for my mini tangent. Let's get into the. So now it's in 3D. Now C-3PO is now the captain of the ship per mishap.
Right.
Yes.
Also, we got new Easter eggs and like new set pieces put in there, and the main set pieces are Patrick Warburton.
He's in there?
Yeah, he's one of the security droids.
Yeah, he's
I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a security droid, and what my love is there's a great Buzz Lightyear reference in this ride now.
Yeah.
I wish I had my camera out when it happened, because I waited there to recapture it, but it just did not happen. And I'd probably have to wait like 24 hours to get it again. But
I think I know what you're talking about.
There's this great thing. He's going through luggage, and you got like a lot of nods. Like I'm sure you can go through like the little I forget their names. The little people in Tatooine, the ones with the hoods, the Jawas.
The Jawas, yeah.
I'm sure like the Jawas like snuck stuff aboard and took stuff and whatnot. But regardless, you're going through luggage and you see like scanned and X-rayed and stuff. And it was so great because earlier in that day I rode the Toy Story Mania ride. So I'm in the line and I was caught off guard. This is the first time I was experiencing the new ride. And I go on there and with my father, and we're going through the line, and then we're just kind of waiting to pop the ride, and then we hear Patrick Warburton talking, and he's going through this. Oh hey, what's this? And it's a Buzz Lightyear. His wings pop out and says, "To infinity and beyond." Oh my God. And he says something like, "It's a space, like this is a weird looking space engine to be in here," or like either that, or says, "We'll get you out of there, sir." Hang on. I think he says that. I think he says like, "Hang on, we'll get you out of there."
Wow, that's great.
There's also a broken Rex inside that room too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a neat gag.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad for him though.
Yeah.
He was he was a reckless captain, but still, he was good. He was a nice heart.
Yeah. But also remember, it's a prequel, so it's probably not him.
So
maybe he's being assembled.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be that as well.
Maybe he's going to that assembly plant and Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Right.
Well, look, regardless of if it's a prequel or not, in continuity, this ride apparently has trouble being in. I think Yoda would say that much better than I, but
fitting in this problems it has. Oh yes.
Yes. Anyway, regardless, because we have Darth Vader in this ride, and that kind of makes you think that it's still a prequel, but it'd be after Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where you want to learn. That's really the only prequel stuff that you really care about at that point, with the Darth Vader falling down the rabbit hole type stuff.
Pretty much. I mean, I like Phantom Menace, but I digress.
Better digress. Anyway.
Ooh,
I'm kidding, Tiki. I'm kidding. But yeah, so essentially C-3PO is now Captain per mishap, and he's inspecting the ship's controls or something. He's doing maintenance or whatever, and like the guy says, out of the way, says, hurry up, do whatever you're gonna do quickly because we got another tour happening in a few minutes. Then C-3PO, he's doing his check, and he hits a button or something, and then like the thing seals up on it. Says, "Hello, I have a bad feeling about this," or something. Yeah, good. I love C-3PO. I want to say that.
Oh,
he's a lovable character, and he's worth 20 Jar Jars. Forget Jar Jar.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. If anyone compares C-3PO to Jar Jar Binks, wrong. Anyway, so yeah, and R2, the thing to keep in mind is R2-D2 is really piloting the ship, really. C-3 is just there for the ride.
Yeah.
And the man's communiques, I guess. Anyway, so now you want to go to the thing of the ride? You guys want to recap it?
Well, I can't really. I can't. I don't really have much to say. So why don't you guys just go for it in recapping?
Adventure Blue Dude?
No, we'll just recap it first, then we can go over thoughts after.
No, I mean, like, I'm saying you guys want to do the recap with me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll start off here, because there are several different versions.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, I kind of broke it down. I could be wrong here if there are any, like, surprise versions, but what I could read and find out, this is what I found. There are two versions. They broke it down into 3 parts. And you get, like, alterations for each of these 3 parts. Okay, so the first part is, okay, after we go through the... It's nice how they incorporate the old security footage, too, though.
Mm.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, not security footage, but they do have security footage, like... Sorry?
The safety footage, you mean?
Yeah, and security footage now. Now they have security footage. That's new.
Yeah.
C-3PO get trapped in the machine as part of the pre-video.
Well, you still see Chewbacca freaking out, right?
Yes, you do see that. They did incorporate the older stuff, so like, Chewbacca's freaking out.
It's like that's all I care about. That's literally all I care about.
However, now instead of the old tour guide lady,
I know.
Actually,
it's the terrible CGI robot that I hate.
It's Ali Sansan.
Oh.
What?
Ali Sansan.
I don't know who that is.
That's her name. That's the robot's name.
Oh, that's the character's name? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Actually, if I'm correct, I think for a moment we get the old tour guide lady in there as she's just in the video describing like the Chewbacca safety warning.
Actually, it might be right.
I think that's the case, but for the most part,
not like the CGI droid though.
I think we still. I know. I don't know. I kind of like her, but she's okay. I think it was off. It was surprised me the first time I saw it. I was like, what the man, this ride, that was my first indication that the ride had changed.
Right.
I mean, I'm perceptive to a point, fellas, and Patrick Wilbur, I just thought, I was like, oh, that's a cool addition, but it didn't really strike me as like new.
Right. I hear you.
Now, I mean, I heard that the ride itself has changed. I heard that about the D23 conference or whatever, the Disney Comic-Con, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I heard like the one thing I heard, like it was either on there or like just on like a thing talking about the Disney theme parks and like any new additions or stuff. And they mentioned like something that really just caught my ears. The one thing I briefly heard about the ride was that the Star Tours ride has some new stuff added to it, and it basically has a randomizer put in there, so you get a different ride experience each time. That's all I heard about. So I was thinking, man, I wonder what that's going to be like. Then I went on this ride and I saw some other changes, such as the CGI. Robot tour guide lady, she's pleasant. It's kind of neat. It's kind of funny, off-putting in that she's like, what the heck? I mean, I like how I don't know. She's very perky and happy peppy because she's programmed that way.
Yeah.
No, kind of like that. It's kind of like she's sincere yet a robot.
I hear you.
I kind of like that. Like if she is going to be, at least she's not like a cynic robot.
All right.
Makes no sense. Sorry, forgive me. But regardless, not a bad character. But you're right. Probably the old tour guide lady is probably better. But yeah, it's not a bad idea to have a CG robot. They could have made her an actual robot though.
That's my thing. Yeah, it's not the robot thing that bothers me. It's the CGI.
Well, that you kind of have to give. If it is a prequel, has to be CG.
Okay.
Well, regardless, okay, I'm sorry, getting into the ride. So, same ride pretty much, only C-3PO is now in the captain's chair, and he's saying, we can't go, the captain's not here, and says, ride, initiate, and says, tour, initiating, your autopilot engaged. He said, no, we can't go yet! And we're at the Star Tours base, and we're kind of stopped. C-3PO kind of gets his wish, because we're boarded by the Empire. Bum, bum. See, it's the Empire. How can it be... I'm sorry, you're right. It is after... It's after Sith. It has to be after Sith. Because the Empire's in full force. Empire goes in there and he stops us. And it's either Darth Vader, which is awesome when it's Darth Vader, or it's just the probe that says, we're looking for rebel spies. And then it records someone in the audience of the ride and says, this person we're looking for. It's kind of a nice immersive experience.
Yeah.
And really nice immersive experience. Then basically, this person's the rebel spy we're supposed to protect. Is there's no rebels here. Oh no, there's a rebel here. R2, get us out of here. Actually, it's sorry, I'm misquoting that. It's actually funnier. What I love, and it's so much better when it's Darth Vader, because the Darth Vader thing when it happened the first time, the second time actually, again, just shows you how rewritable this thing is.
Right.
I went on this second time, and when Darth Vader appeared, I was like, "Oh my God, that's awesome!" Because Darth Vader was there, voiced by James Earl Jones and everything, saying, "Stop," and he actually stops it physically with the Force, which is so cool. Yeah. He rocks the thing with the Force like we're trying to get out of it with thrusters and stuff, and he's moving us like a tractor beam. He says, "We're looking for a rebel spy." He says, "Oh, there's no rebel spies." I wonder if Darth Vader would recognize C-3PO or not.
Good question.
But
regardless, Vader did build him, right?
He did, and he remembers it. C-3PO doesn't. But
oh my God.
Whereas he's being shaken around, they're saying, we're looking for this rebel spy. He says, "There's no rebel spy." He says, "Oh, except her." And then essentially, here's the moment I love. Just really shows you how awesome R2-D2 is. As again, R2-D2 is really the pilot of this thing after it's just set in motion by the autopilot. Darth Vader, he's really commanding and really threatening, especially someone like C-3PO, who we're rooting for, he's not a combative guy.
Yeah.
And essentially, he's about to have the thing boarded by stormtroopers, and then R2-D2, it's like a Mexican standoff. R2-D2, he arms the lasers, which I think they're not a new improvement. They really, you don't realize till the last part of the first ride that we have lasers to shoot.
Exactly, yeah.
But we have lasers, and R2-D2 makes awesome use of it. He fires at Darth Vader. Only R2-D2 would have the robot parts, so to speak, to fire at Darth Vader, and Darth Vader deflects it with the lightsaber. It's a really awesome thing, and he backs us out of there. R2-D2 is an awesome guy, awesome droid. And we get out of there, and then we're being pursued by the Empire, and then go and heist with it. We really make it more kinetic with the energy. It's more survival. It's more so. Well, I mean, it's less just like misadventure survival. Now it's like survival of the fittest. Like we're being pursued by the evil bad guys.
Sure.
Really energized. Gotta love it. Energizer Bunny. We're out of there. Light speed. And we get into a random location which is decided by 3 factors. I'm sorry, pick a location, guys.
Doesn't it go to Coruscant?
Well, the 3 options are Tatooine, Kashyyyk, or Hoth. That comes later, the Coruscant.
Oh, okay.
Let's go Kashyyyk.
Okay, you take us through Kashyyyk, Tiki.
Well, I've never been on it, so I only know the ride vehicle.
Yeah, you have. You were in Revenge of the Sith, Yoda. We went to Kashyyyk briefly.
Well, Tarzan yelled, the Wookiees did. Annoying, it was. Degraded the character, it did. There's Yoda's take on the Wookiee shit in Star Wars Episode 3.
Well, I mean, take us through Kashyyyk, the ride. What happens when we
All
go to Kashyyyk?
right. Basically, as far as I can remember, it's like you're just going through. I think the most memorable thing that happens is that one of the Wookiees actually lands on the windshield.
Yeah, I think is it Chewbacca?
Yeah. No.
Is it Chewbacca? That's cheap.
I think we see Chewbacca's family, don't we?
Oh my God! So it's like fucking the holiday special.
That's the thing. I could be wrong about that, but I mean, I think we see at least Chewbacca's house.
That's terrifying.
Because we go by those little platform with Wookiees on it, I believe. I could be entirely wrong here, mind you, but I think we see like a little landing pad with Wookiees on it. So I mean, by logic standing, it could possibly be Chewbacca's family. I don't think it's like intentionally supposed to. I'm not saying like they're in the Life Day outfit, so it's like for sure or anything. But I'm saying
the holiday special was the first thing to introduce Boba Fett, so it's canon. It's canon. It's got to be canon.
Well, I'm not saying it's not canon. I'm just saying. I'm not saying not canon, despite the fact we had a Ken doll Luke in that thing. But
oh my God, it was like. Wasn't that like post-surgery Mark Hamill, like right after he had the motorcycle accident?
No, that's the thing. I think it's before, isn't it?
No, I think it was. I could be wrong. I thought it was right after.
I don't know. I thought it was like it's kind of a weird thing where it's just like someone that styled his hair and did some makeup stuff on him, make it look weird. But I think it's before the accident. I could be wrong. Anyway.
And then frickin' Harrison Ford just looks like he does not want to be there at all.
Well, a lot of things Harrison Ford does, he doesn't want to be there at all.
Yeah, like Bruno. Mr. Ford, fuck off!
But regardless, Yeah. Regardless, I could be wrong if it's the Wookiee family or not. It's just a grouping of Wookiees somewhere. It could possibly be Chewbacca's family. Fun little side note, if that is the case. But regardless, say we go through Kashyyyk, as you said. Wookiee lands on the windshield, so we're sure it's not Chewbacca. It could be cool if it was.
I actually think it'd be cooler if it was just a Wookiee, because I think it'd kind of be like too big of a coincidence if it was Chewbacca.
Well, I mean, there's
That's
a good
just me.
chance there's a good chance that Wookiee could have died, so maybe it's better it's not Chewbacca.
Right, exactly. Oh God.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So take us through another location. Adventure Blue, you pick one: Hoth or Tatooine.
Tatooine is literally just a pod race.
Which is
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It is really cool.
I
Say
have
what you
one
will about-
major problem about this. Major problem.
Okay. Can I say one thing before you say that?
Yeah.
Now, one thing though, Phantom Menace did get it right. Pod racing is cool.
Sure,
Anyway, go
sure,
ahead.
absolutely. That's one of the things. Phantom Menace, it had pod racing, it had Darth Maul, it had Yoda that was actually a puppet.
Well, that puppet was a little weird looking though.
Nah, it was still a puppet.
Yeah. Okay,
But
I'm sorry.
anyways, this is like the one thing that I cannot get over with this ride is 3PO's line with the pod racing where he's like, I've always wanted to do this. It's like, no, you didn't. You're like an extremely timid droid about everything.
Well, that's two things, Tiki.
Okay.
One, that's a callback to the first ride.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I know it's a callback. Yeah, I get
Second,
it.
secondly, I don't know, Tiki. I'm thinking like C-3PO, he's a held back guy, but I mean, like, I think underneath it all, he does kind of want to do it. And it doesn't mean like in Phantom Menace he wanted to do it, but I think it's more so he's heard about this sort of thing and he wants to do it.
Because to me, it was just, I don't know, to me, that's like the one thing that kind of goes out of character. But
Is it the
it's not like
characterization or the
your
continuity?
thing, it's kind of like, what?
Is it the characterization or the continuity that's bothering you on it?
The characterization.
Well, we've seen like at times he's a held back. Usually in the stuff after Star Wars, like in the cartoons, he's usually like he has like kind of a streak to him that he wants to do some adventure stuff at times.
Okay, I haven't seen the cartoon, so.
But fair enough, though. Fair enough. You got a good point, though. I don't know. I think it's kind of it's progression for C3, but giving us some characterization. No, I kind of like it.
All right. So,
Hoth.
you guys want to describe it further?
Is there anything else on Tatooine? Adventure
There's
Blue?
really a whole else lot to say other than
Do we have
went pod
Jabba?
racing.
Is
What?
Jabba there?
No.
Right. I'm saying is he in the tower looking over the race? Do we see that? Do you know?
Probably, but he's just in the background if he is.
Remember we had that jerk that I forget the guy's name.
Sebulba?
Yeah, that guy, Sebulba.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I like that little touch.
Yeah. I love it when we rack the one pod racer's pod on there, and then we're like speeding through it till like we have like double engine power, and then we almost hit we try to go in the light speed, and then we almost hit the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So cool.
right.
It would have been. I think it would have been cool if we like literally rode past Jabba for a split second or something,
Just for a
Yeah.
split second, that would have been cool.
or if we somehow crashed through Jabba's palace. I don't know how that would work, but
Yeah,
if we crashed
that
through
would be
Jabba's
awesome.
palace.
Bypass the Sarlacc pit.
You know what could be even cooler?
What?
I'm saying like if they ever make any further improvements or anything in the future or anything.
What if you fly past the Sarlacc pit and you see Boba Fett crawling out?
That wouldn't
I'm
make
saying-
sense.
I'm saying somehow. Oh, that would be awesome if that was the case. But secondly, something that could be cool is like somehow if you were somehow underground somehow, then you went through lightspeed or something, and you dug from underground, and you went through the Rancor, and you're being chased by the Rancor for a second.
That'd be really cool.
That's a really cool idea. I'm just
Yeah, you
really
get chased by the Rancor, and maybe you get chased by the Rancor, but yeah, if you fly overhead and you see Boba Fett climb out of the pit, that could be cool because later on Boba Fett's going to show up,
Right, exactly.
which could be an awesome payoff, and that would be the missing gap we need for the future of Star Wars. But anyway, I'm saying George Lucas is going to make all these changes. That's the one change you need to make. Just have him climb out of the pit. That's all.
Yeah, come on, George. Just have him climb out of the pit. It's
That's
not that
all.
hard.
Don't give me Ewoks that have eye blinks. Give me Boba Fett flying out of the pit.
All right.
Oh, anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, go on. So now my favorite one. Hoth.
Yes, this is
Much as
good.
I love the pod racing, I love Hoth because, first of all, I love Empire. We all love Empire, let's face it.
Of course.
Yeah, it's the best Star Wars.
Plus, I'm a guy, like, again, I told you Mr. Freeze, but overall, I like cool environments. I
Mhm.
like the cold. I enjoy the cold. And I just like being in Hoth, and I just love that visual from Empire. As you see the ads and the giant Imperial walkers. I'm still the one who calls them Imperial walkers.
Well, aren't
Sue
the
me.
Imperial Walkers the ones on Endor?
No, that's the
No,
chicken
those are
walkers.
ATSTs.
Or chicken
Oh,
walkers.
oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm sorry.
The Adventure Blue, you're right. I'm just saying that's what they call it in the production. I always like that name.
Oh no, I didn't hear you say chicken walkers. I was just
Yeah, regardless, the Imperial walkers are the ads. You know, they're walking around. You're literally, again, kind of similarly to the ending of the first ride, where
Right.
they're going through it like Luke did. You get to be Luke's shoes once again, because that's one of the coolest parts in the opening action scene of that movie, where you're down there, it's dangerous.
It's easily probably the most iconic space battle in all of Star Wars, I'd say, is Battle Hoth.
Yeah, you're not even in space. You're only you are always in space.
Well,
but I mean, you're.
but it's like, but you know what? It's the most iconic battle that takes place within ships.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of space battles.
Between Hoth and Endor.
It's one of the most iconic scenes in Star Wars lore.
It is a very iconic scene in Star Wars. I'll give you that. But yeah, regardless, it's like you're going through like you're weaving and bobbing through the through the Imperial walkers as one of them's collapsing in that great fashion they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool. But what I love most is after that. My favorite thing happens after that, especially with the Hoth one. It connects to the Hoth one specifically, but randomizes, so it could be a different one each time for all I know.
Mm.
But my favorite connection to the next part here, that's another alternate versions you get constantly, we get a transmission.
Yes.
From one of three characters, and this is my favorite one I'm going to start with here. You guys can take the other ones, given one of you actually appears in it. My favorite one comes from Princess Leia.
Oh.
Okay, first of all, they use like the original. I don't know if they somehow used original footage or it's just like re-recorded dialogue put on that or something. Somehow they made it work.
Right.
Where it's basically Princess Leia. She's first of all, it's C-3PO saying, "Oh, that was terrible, R2. Get us back to Star Tours. This is dangerous. We have this rebel spy. This is you glob of grace. Let's get out of here." Something along those lines, basically saying, "We gotta get out of here. This is nuts." If C-3PO were a little less prim and proper. But Princess Leia, in classic blue screen fashion, not blue screen, I mean quite literally a blue screen.
Yes.
I love that projection effect, that blue hologram effect. So she's on screen and she's basically saying, help, taking advantage of the 3D glasses we have now.
Mm-hmm.
She's basically saying, please help me. You're only essentially what she said to Luke in the
She's
New
saying,
Hope.
Star Tours, you're my only hope.
Saying what?
Help me, Star Tours, you're my only hope.
Yeah, she does say, "Help me, Star Tours. You're my only hope." You're right. It's really cool, but it's harkening back to that great moment in. It's such an iconic moment from the first Star Wars.
Of course.
And just harkening back to that, but what I love so much is it's two things. One, we get the classic music from that scene playing, of like da 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 da.
Yeah.
But what's really impressive about that, with the music and with that scene, what's happening is she gives this sincere performance. Either just use that wonderfully used footage and/or re-recorded dialogue that sounds exactly like Carrie Fisher, which is pretty much because that is Carrie Fisher. Just that coming through. What's coming through is that genuine, like, that plead for help, like, please help us. You are our only hope. You have our rebel spy there. We need that information he has, or else we're all doomed. Innocent lives will be lost. We need your help. Save us, please. I beg of you. She's given that great, that plea for help, and right after that, I love with that music playing. It stops. It drifts out, and we have like this moment of silence, this brief moment of silence. And here's my favorite moment of the entire ride with all these changes made to it. It's when C-3PO, this character, really shows his progression. He says, "We see." Sorry if I'm going on here real quick. C-3PO. He's always been this kind of this stuck-up character. With the comedy is like he's the straight man who doesn't want to be in this situation. Like, oh no, this is insane. Right. Usually that's C-3PO's lot in life, but he at times when it really boils down to it, he's going to be there. He has these emotional moments, like he'll put his hand behind his best friend R2D2 and say, "It's okay. I'm sure Master Luke will be fine." Something like that. He'll have these real human, comforting moments, even though he doesn't really get humanity. And he has this great moment, which just sucks me into the ride, where he says, "We're only hope. We're our only hope." And then R2 says, "What are you doing, R? What are you doing, R2?" He says, "Beep, boop, beep, boop," and so basically says, "We're going after. We're heading there." It says, "We're going on the adventure." And beeps, mind you.
Yes.
It's really great. I love it. It just communicates what I want from this ride. It just makes you feel self-important. It just makes you feel part of the adventure. Like we're with C-3PO rooting for him. Like, man, C-3PO is really stepping up here to save the day. We're gonna be with this guy. We're gonna be part of the adventure. Like we're heroes along with our Star Wars heroes. Our unlikely heroes are now the full-fledged guys. We're the Han Solos right now. Yay for them!
Woo-hoo.
Good moment. Sorry if I went on long with that. You want to go through the other transmissions?
Well, you see Yoda come up, and Yoda, he says something along the extent of, I don't know, like, it's kind of similar to Leia, but it's like, "Oh, the rebel spy is aboard your ship. You must get him to the rebel base, or there will be grave danger." Something like that. I don't know.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Yes, I thought
Would
that
you
was
have preferred it if it was Puppet Yoda?
Fuck yeah, I would have preferred it. I always prefer Puppet Yoda.
I'm
always.
kidding, Tiki. I know you would have. But yeah, I also would have preferred if it was Puppet Yoda. But some things, if it is a prequel, I still hate. As long as it's not a prequel, I guess it's better than any other alternative.
It's in between the two trilogies.
That's a good place. 'Cause that's the only prequel I would like to see with Star Wars. The in between. That's the only prequel I want to see. Like before they announced the new ones, I want that.
As a matter
Honestly,
of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, after the new trilogy wraps up, if they announced, like, "Hey, we're doing like an in between trilogy."
Well, I don't think it
Star Wars
needs.
Episode 10. Jesus.
Oh God. No, I mean,
I
literally mean like a Star Wars episode 3.
You're all out of order.
I don't know. I do kind of want 3.5 just because now you have him as Darth Vader. Now he's living with these choices.
Right,
It's an interesting story.
It would be cool. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And maybe you have like a very young Luke, but you don't like make him annoying like the kid in Phantom Menace. You just have him like genuinely kind of like an innocent farm boy, perhaps. If you show any of them, like briefly, let's just see what he gave up.
Right. Actually, Ewan McGregor's been talking about wanting to do a spin-off Obi-Wan movie during that time period. So I think that's kind of interesting if you can actually like build a plot out of it.
That'd be very interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is, well, you can build a plot of it, then you have basically Obi-Wan, I guess, making a name for himself at Tatooine. Here's an idea. I'm sorry, I'm real brief. I don't want to take up too much time with this. I know it's direct ears, but real quick. real quick. What if, like, Obi-Wan, your big bad guy was Jabba the Hutt, and basically Obi-Wan.
Oh, I'd love to see Jabba as, like, the main villain.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying, what if it was like a mob movie? Basically, it's like mix a western with a mob movie. So basically, it's this one lone figure. He's like Obi-Wan being the cowboy in his youth, kind of making a name for himself.
Obi-Wan is like a Clint Eastwood. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And basically, he's basically making a name for himself because everyone knows his name. Like, he knows him as old Ben Kenobi. Yeah, we know. We all know him. And we see him making a name for himself by taking on the big godfather of Tatooine.
Oh my God, now I'm getting, like, really, really excited for this movie.
Okay, so more on that in a direct ear segment in the future, okay?
Yeah.
But putting a pin in that. So let's go. It's kind of funny how this worked out. Yoda, I mentioned Princess Leia, then you got Yoda, and now we're getting to the guy who's really nuts about Akbar.
I haven't seen the Admiral Akbar part. Admiral Akbar comes up and says, "That's a trap," and then he goes away.
Yoda, hit him with the line.
Dude, I don't even know.
That is why you fail.
C-3PO says, "Well, fuck." So then they go outside.
I don't think he says that. That's our naughty line.
Anti-quote.
We get screwed a lot.
Well, fuck it, R2. It looks like we're in a trap.
Why do I get the feeling this always happens before our memory gets wiped?
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah. So, well, essentially, Admiral Akbar just kind of same thing as Yoda, only more military and official, saying, "We need your help. We need to stop. We need to stop the Empire. You have a rebels. One of our rebel agents. Get him safely to us. And I don't think he says, "May the Force be with you." I could be wrong.
I think he does, actually.
It's a trap. Like, even if it's, like, entirely out of context with anything he's saying.
Actually, you're right, AdvBlueDude. He does say, "May the Force be with you," which I think is kind of weird because,
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yep. I'd say everyone kind of communally does it at the end of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it just doesn't feel right coming from the military guy. He doesn't truly believe in the thing. He's just saying it to be polite.
Mm.
But yeah, you're right then. C-3PO does get a little more like, oh, here we go. And so it's not as... They get a lot of duty with the Princess Leia one.
Right.
Then with Yoda, you get kind of like the more mysticism, like you're being part of a bigger world. Yoda's kind of the Sam Jackson of the Star Wars when you think about it. Despite the fact we actually have Sam Jackson.
I am sick of these mother effing...
No.
Okay. But what I will do is Samuel Jackson. Hey, motherfucker, how's it taste?
This is a
Would you
tasty.
please not yell at me?
AdvBlueDude.
Yelling? This is how I talk. Haven't you seen my movies?
What's Jabba the Hutt look like?
John,
Look like a bitch?
Lucy, that was a good one.
AdvBlueDude, that was hilarious. AdvBlueDude.
Yes.
I have my eye on you.
Juiced. I got eaten by a shark. A fucking shark ate me.
Tiki, believe it or not, the only thing in my world you are not.
Alright, I'm sorry. You totally set me up for that.
I want to see that now.
What, Yoda, Sam Jackson? I'll make it happen.
No, Star Wars Pulp Fiction.
Oh, God.
Say what again? Say what again?
Alright, so where are we?
Leia and Han doing the twist.
Oh, Jesus, get us off of this subject.
Right. Okay. On to the big climax.
Jabba the Hutt's
That's what she said.
It's the friggin' bird thing on his tail.
Wait, what?
The creature that lives on Jabba the Hutt's tail. That's his wife in this Pulp Fiction universe.
Oh, it's not.
And Han Solo brings him out to...
Oh, he would be Ving Rhames. You're right. Jabba would be Ving Rhames. It makes so much sense. Oh, man, I wonder who would have to do the deed to him.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
Oh, probably have to be the Rancor or something.
That's the Rancor, probably.
Anyway, back to anyway. So we're on to the big final part of this. Okay, so now we got basically we're being pursued by the Empire, and we're making the delivery of our rebel spy and the information, yada yada yada. We got 3 locations, if I'm right. Potential 4th with I've heard rumored Mustafar. I got this weird thing. I kind of vaguely remember going to Mustafar. I can't confirm.
Oh, wait, did they say Mustafar was in it? Yeah, I thought Coruscant was in it.
Coruscant is in it. I'm saying, though, for some strange reason, I either have the memory of, or at least I've heard, some reason I can't place it. Mustafar, for some reason. I mean, I looked it up, too. I couldn't find Mustafar, but I had this strange feeling Mustafar is like a secret one or something.
I doubt it.
Look, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on probably wrong about that. But regardless, I've got 3 locations here.
Let's find out.
It like specifically say like, is Mustafar a location or something?
It is not.
Okay, that's fine. I imagine there. I heard about it. It would be cool if Mustafar was a location, though.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot to it. It's just kind of lava and more lava.
No, there's not much to Coruscant.
Well, yeah, there's not much to Hoth either.
Other than traffic, all you have at Coruscant is traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic versus lava and floaty platforms.
I haven't seen Coruscant yet. I just realized that. Okay,
anyway, here's our locations here. Okay, so we got actually, I forget, like, does Naboo lead to Coruscant, or is just Coruscant its own place?
Coruscant's its own place.
Okay, making sure. Okay, so anyway, so we got 3 locations here. I think 1 is Naboo. You go to Naboo, you go underwater. I think you almost hit Jar Jar, which is hilarious.
Yes.
No, you do
We all.
hit Jar Jar, I thought.
I'm sorry, what?
No, you don't.
I think you don't?
You just
Are you
missed him. He like
You might.
sucks.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I love Lego Star Wars, the not the games, but the animated specials.
Uh-huh.
And I love how you actually do get to hit Jar Jar, and like C-3PO says, "Oh, at least we've hit no one important."
No.
And it's actually funny in the Clone Wars show.
Yeah.
The writers have mentioned this. They have like there was a moment where they said they're wondering like should we they questioned Lucasfilm like is it okay if we're sorry not Lucasfilm they like in the writers room they debate upon like are we being should C-3PO be this mean the Jar Jar says just treat him how the fans would have C-3PO treat him like the fans do.
Exactly.
That's pretty much fitting. I like how they kind of keep that gay like C-3PO that has no respect for Jar Jar even though he's sometimes paired up with him and then the animation.
That's great.
But regardless, so yeah, we're in Naboo. We almost hit Jar Jar. Unfortunately, we don't hit him.
No, that
But,
wouldn't it be lovely if he was just like a bug on the windshield and we just literally used our windshield wipers to wipe him off?
I think would this feel just? I mean, wouldn't this feel like satisfying enough in terms of punishment for Jar Jar, where we would say like we hit him and he says, "Ooh, nice to see people," and then he gets wiped off the windshield like ah.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, there we go. That would be better. Okay, Misa, see Star Tours. Okay, so we go through Naboo. I think like the war is happening also like on some point with the not a war but like the battle. I'm not sure if it's with the battle.
With the Trade Federation.
Oh, Trade Federation.
Yeah.
With Trade Federation, it's like it's Boss Gunga or something like the
Yeah.
Boss Nass. Is it Boss Nass?
Nass.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, the large one like.
Otagunga.
The other
Well,
offensive
that's a
stereotype.
city. Yeah.
Anyway, so we got Naboo, which is a watery adventure, which is cool. You know, Naboo's
That one's a really cool one. Yeah.
Naboo's a cool planet to say the least. Forget the stereotypes. It's a cool
Yeah.
place. Coruscant. That's usually where the place that usually ends there. It's basically a lot of traffic. You go through the adventure. That's really lands you where you end up at. Kind of in reference to the first ride.
Mm-hmm.
As in reference to the first ride, you're going through there, you make your way through traffic, you deliver the guy to the station, which is, you're not going to the Star Tours thing, you're going to the station where you make it by the skin of your teeth, and you crash, and you almost hit someone like the ride, the original one.
Of course.
And here's my favorite one. Much like the original, you're hitting a Death Star, which I guess, in this case, I don't, again, continuity-wise, I don't know how it works.
Makes no sense.
This is the construction of the first Death Star.
But it blows up, doesn't it?
Well,
No,
God damn it,
no.
Darth Vader just has to start
Does it?
over.
I can't recall if it blows up or not. Oh, so
No,
he just test fires it?
The Slave One blows up.
Okay, I got the Slave One blows. It does like so. Does he test fire the Death Star at us? I can't recall. Does he do that?
I'm not sure. Let me look.
Well, regardless, so the Death Star is there. Okay, I guess if it is.
No, Boba Fett just launches a sonic bomb.
Okay, well, so we don't end up in the insides of the Death Star. We don't.
No, you end up inside a Mon Calamari cruiser.
Well, why are we there if we're not blowing it up?
Because you just kind of show up there.
Well, why do we? I mean, saying we're going on the inside of it, right?
No.
Oh, we're not on the inside.
No.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm misremembering it from the first ride. That must be.
You end up in an asteroid field that just happens to be by the Death Star.
Okay. I just thought it makes more sense then. Forgive me for that. But anyway, so we're around. I think we're still around. I think it's not official, but I think we're around Endor's moon, even though they don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're over Geonosis.
No.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of a nice nod if it was Endor, but yeah, right. It makes more sense, I guess, if it is Geonosis.
Yeah.
Anyway, regardless, so we're point is we're at the Death Star, and here's the most awesome moment happens. Boba Fett, disguised as a piece of debris, as a piece of asteroid in the asteroid field, classic homage to Empire, emerges in full glorious Boba Fettiness in the Slave One spaceship. And he's there, and he's making trash talk, voiced by, I believe, Jeremy Brooks, if he's still around doing it. I believe he is.
Probably.
Yeah. So he's there, and he's saying, like I'm gonna destroy you guys. I can't recall exactly what he says, but he says it really awesomely because he's Boba Fett and he sounds kind of Australian. And he basically launches a bomb at us, and then again R2D2. Forget Sam. I mean, easily R2D2 could be the new Sam Jackson. What if they had that? Like just basically C3PO and R2D2 walk in there. See, instead of saying "say what" again, you just hear a grouping of beeps.
What?
My colleague says, "Say what again?"
He doesn't translate. He doesn't translate. They're just
Also, I want to see like R2D2 like shaking around, like knocking something over, just to be intimidating.
He just has a little arm come out of him, and it just very quickly slaps something off the table. And
Or also maybe he shocks a guy too, like shocks a guy into, like paying attention.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Anyway, R2D2 really shows. I love how awesome R2D2 is in this part because he's doing all the driving when you really think about it.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
doing the driving. He's firing the weapons. C3PO's not doing that. He might be getting into adventurous territory, but he's not the action guy. So C3PO, he's there saying, "Oh no, we're done for R2," and he doesn't. R2D2. I'm sorry, C3PO doesn't say fire weapons, does he?
No.
Second time. Yeah, okay. It's just R2D2 doing it all. Then just making sure.
Yeah.
R2D2 basically fires. I don't know if he like fires it directly at the thing because like it repels back at him, or like he like deflects it somehow using some sort of beam.
Right.
Back at Boba Fett, which is awesome because that's how you non-violently destroy your baggage. Let him be his own doing. It doesn't even destroy him. It doesn't blow him up. It just like it wrecks his ship though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a sonic grenade bomb of sorts. Because like it has this great effect of like blue atmosphere and stuff happening, and basically it has a great sound effect too. This metallic clang. It's like a Ben Burt sound effect.
Mm.
I think it's like the lightsaber sound effect is like slowed somehow, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. It's like the metal. It's like when you used to like go to the power lines and hit the wires.
Yeah.
For the blaster sounds, probably that. It has like this great metallic-y, like what the. Like that's how you take out Boba Fett. They don't even kill him, but that's how you take out.
They just
Boba Fett.
immobilize him.
Yeah, I'm saying that's much better than dropping you in a Sarlacc pit, never to be heard from again.
I kind of like him being dropped in this. I wish they did it better, rather than just like him flying around going "fuck." Just,
I'm saying that, but at least you can keep him around for future stuff.
Oh yeah, he is a really cool character.
You're right. At the time, they're just knocking him in there. Just gonna, if you are gonna kill him off, you don't want to just knock him into the thing. He's like the Deadpool of the Star Wars universe. You don't
Do
want
you
to knock him
know
out
what would
like
be insane and hilarious?
What?
Deadpool Boba Fett crossover.
No, in the new Star Wars movie, his son comes up against everybody.
Do you mean
Boba Fett's son.
Oh, Boba Fett has a son?
I don't know, but that would make me laugh because Boba Fett is a father revenge story.
Oh, wait, so are we saying that Boba Fett would be alive? This is talk for directors, but real quick, would Boba Fett be alive?
No. I'm saying Boba Fett would be dead, his son would like try to kill everyone. That would just make
No, it's not just everyone. His main target should be Han Solo.
Why? I thought Luke...
No, remember, Han Solo, he's the one who knocked him in there.
I thought it was Luke.
No, it was by accident. He knocked him in there. Remember, he said, like, Boba Fett, where?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's why people complain about it. Otherwise, it'd be a pretty much cool death.
Speaking of the new Star Wars movie, I am way too excited that Kenny Baker is in the movie. Who did you invite? Monkey?
It's a distress call. But, you should do like a Princess Leia message saying, we need your help, Monkey.
Help me, Monkey. You're my only hope. Help me, Monkey. You're my only hope. Come in here, Monkey. Are you that one viewer?
Monkey.
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 Anyway, guys, back to.
Come on!
Let's stop monkeying around. I was hoping that would rouse him, damn.
Anyway, back to story.
No, you sent me a private message. You said, "Oh, I'm back, so invite me on whenever." I'm not sure how long ago that was.
It's probably like 2 hours
I
ago.
can't wear this watch any longer. I can't do it.
Oh my god.
You were so close.
Holy crap.
Yoda's dead.
That was ridiculous.
Bum, bum, bum,
Dude, and I just
bum,
ruined this
bum,
fucking
bum.
mask too. Look at
You
that.
ruined it?
Look at that.
Oh no, you didn't ruin it. You just ripped it, staple it a few times.
Staple it.
Yeah, staple it.
All right.
Or
I can
get
always
some
mo-
latex and like mold it on.
Right.
I could always buy another one and hang that one like a trophy.
Well, no, I mean this is like my grandpa's, and he's had it since he had his costume store, so I'd feel kind of bad.
Well, hence the trophy. You still keep it and display it, but you get a new one for use.
Yeah, hang it over your mantle.
Oh god,
Hey.
that was. I thought I would have the medal to go until the end of the show, but with Monkey coming, possibly, hopefully.
I'm saying the Tiki Cave. Yeah, your trophies for all your defeated foes and your accomplishments. Like,
Hey,
you
you
got
got
Tommy Why So behind you.
There you
I
got the
did.
giant penny.
I did actually win an ORG award
There you go.
for the best blindside.
There you go. I'm
And
proud
I'm
of you.
very
Sandra
happy
Bullock
about
movie?
that. Taking off his jacket too.
Oh, you're renouncing your Jedi heritage, Tiki. No!
To hell with the Jedi.
There you go.
You're a Sith man in wrong colors.
Isn't this
Anyway.
technically kind of like the shirt Luke Skywalker wore?
Yeah, that's
Just
a
kind of
thing.
Like a
Yeah.
plain white shirt.
But actually, more like Han Solo when he was in the Jabba's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Right,
it's a shirt.
right.
It's a shirt.
Actually, since you kind of, no offense, Steve, but since you kind of sweated in the mask, it's kind of like you got unfrozen out of the carbonite.
I can see that. Yeah.
And a hypersleep or whatever it was.
You guys have no idea how difficult that was. That was fucking ridiculous.
Hey, I get how difficult it is. That's why we're not doing it.
Monkey.
The monkey.
Monkey.
The monkey.
A Wookiee. But anyway, so I think last thing I was saying about what if he was like after, what if he was after Han Solo specifically for what happened? That was like his big drive to get revenge on Han Solo, and like that's why Han Solo might have a bigger part because he's the target of that guy.
Oh, there we go.
My
A
God.
Wookiee.
My
Look,
God.
Evening.
Hello.
My God. Hello, Monkey.
Hey.
Welcome.
Were you the one viewer?
Was I? It's very possible.
Most
Well,
likely.
have you been watching?
I had some of it on.
Okay, then yeah, you probably were. So you saw my
Just
Yoda,
some?
my
Yeah.
Yoda mask.
Yes.
Oh god, and I took it off when I realized you were coming on because I was like, I can't, I just can't.
There's a bug.
Where?
In the Pacific Ocean. I don't. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. I don't know where it went. Whatever.
Okay, so Monkey, we're talking Star Tours, yeah.
Hey.
Hey, you know what we should each do at the end of this?
What?
We should each hum some Star Wars music, different music.
Oh, okay, I'm down for that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's some of my favorite parts of the show, where we're all humming different pieces of music at the same time.
I call dibs on the Imperial March.
I call dibs on the Princess Leia theme.
I might
Okay.
take a song. I'm not sure which.
You want Yub Nub?
Maybe.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll take the cantina then.
All right,
Yay!
perfect. Oh,
Okay,
God.
anyway, so I'm sorry, back to Star Tours. So, Monkey, what are your Star Tours experience?
Okay, so I think I first went on it when I was maybe like 6 or 7. I enjoyed it. The original classic version, of course. Enjoyed it. Got the T-shirt right after the ride. Yeah. Merchandise. Wasn't that like one of the first attractions to exit into a gift shop?
We were talking about that a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that yeah, enjoyed it.
One of them, yeah.
Eventually it closed. Reopened. Naturally, I was a little bitter about Florida getting it first, but I went on a soft opening day shortly after Florida's had opened. So yeah, that kind of lessened the blow a bit.
Man, he
Frickin' Florida
recapped that so
stealing
much
our
better than I did.
What?
Man, he recapped that so much better than I did.
Yeah, we've been trying to explain this for 2 hours.
True.
What did I
Monkey
recap?
comes on, it's like, yeah, this happened.
Wait, what did I recap?
No, he's
Did we-
recapped the whole experience of Star Tours. That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Monkey's awesome and I suck. I'm sad now.
Aw.
Da, 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 da.
Right.
Yeah, so
Nah, I'm kidding, Monkey. Let's go.
yeah,
Go ahead. We're saying.
yeah. So I still go on Star Tours. It was since the new one opened. I used to keep this thing where when I got back home, I'd write down whatever combinations I got.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that anymore, but
Oh,
It-
sad.
yeah, I have a kind of fun story about like first couple times on it because like that's after opening day. The line wasn't too bad. I got on like 3 times that day. So
Well, Monkey, we literally went through all the combinations.
well, yeah. So I'm getting somewhere with this.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I always had the Stormtrooper opening, but anyway, so the first 2 times it was Stormtroopers, then Hoth. And the first time the transmission was from Akbar, and then we went to Geonosis. So the second time, okay, the robot and Hoth. So okay, here's the transmission. Akbar's gonna pop up, right? Yoda appears.
Sam Jackson.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Yoda appears, and then go to Naboo. So yeah, okay, Akbar. Whoa, different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I remember you guys were talking about preferences earlier. I'm just gonna say something with the Vader one that bothers me slightly. Maybe I'm just really OCD picky about it, but the 3D is slightly. It's not off. It's just I don't know. Vader seems like almost come into the cabin, and there's supposed to be a window. Yeah.
You got kind of a point there, Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Tiki!
okay.
Damn it.
Bye. Okay, I'm
sorry.
trying to think of a Star Wars joke to correspond.
Wait, Tiki leave?
Tiki!
That's
No,
not true!
It's
That's
impossible!
No, how the hell are we on the air?
Well, it says it's live.
Is it through you, BlueDude?
No.
What's happening? I don't know.
Oh
it
my
still
God.
says live. Let's
Oh
keep
my
going.
god, what is happening?
Okay, so I'm and also like with the Stormtrooper one, the image of the spy is actually on the movie screen. So that's cool, like incorporating, real, new stuff with the pre-recorded. I just find that cool.
Right.
And apparently, what did you guys mention? How apparently one of the pictures, when it's zooming through all those files, one of them is George Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Wait,
we
you
didn't mention
mentioned
that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and have any of you guys been the spy yet?
No, I haven't been the spy. Darn it.
I don't want to be the spy.
I kind of want to be the spy. Why not? You get to be the
For
hero.
some reason, I'm not too surprised.
My social anxiety says no on to that.
If you're the spy, Princess Leia wants you.
Some days, sometimes.
Current day Carrie Fisher.
Let's see, sometimes.
Well, okay, not the current one, but I mean, we love the previous Carrie Fisher. This is like pre-drug ruined life Carrie Fisher. I mean, now she's fine, but I'm just saying before there was a rough period.
Yeah, she wants it. She wants to serenade you with her Life Day song.
Oh, God, not the life. Tiki!
Yes,
Your turn.
I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm glad that I didn't lose the video.
Yeah, we were astounded by that. I guess the force is strong with this one.
I guess
Monkey.
so. Because I accidentally closed the whole window I was in. I thought for sure the whole video would go down. Oh, that was nice. Okay.
Yeah, so. Anyway,
Crisis
so,
averted.
let's see. First planet in the transmission, I don't really have a preference. The last planet, Naboo. Just Naboo. I mean, it's exciting. It uses the 3D really well.
Yeah.
You almost get to kill Jar Jar.
Yeah.
kill Jar Jar? Jar Jar's a friend, sir. Jar your humble servant.
Well, if we kill him or two, at least we're not killing anyone important.
Yeah, we kill a stormtrooper in the Wookiee planet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something funny. So I remember like there was some article about things that like the top 6 or whatever problems about the old Star Tours, and number 1 was that at one point you kill a guy. Yeah, you kill a guy.
Yeah.
So that because you kill more people in the new version.
Well, can you remind me who we killed in the original? I forgot.
It's just some random fighter, like right after you pull out of the Death Star.
Oh yeah,
truck.
you're right. Yeah. Oh, that's us.
Or-
I thought that was. I never thought that. I thought that was like the other guys that are tour.
We kill a man at Disney World.
Well, I mean, other than the, no, I mean other than Gaston. I mean,
BlueDragonFive, clarify. Wait.
Hmm?
what?
Wait. First off,
Who?
okay. Number 1, BlueDude, clarify. Number 2, how did Gaston get into this?
No, I don't know how Gaston got into this. I was talking about the guy that we killed in Star Tours. We kill a man at Disney
No
World.
one gets killed in Star Tours like Gaston.
You almost killed George Lucas's body double in the original Star Tours.
I
Wait,
meant
what?
the other guys. I meant the other guy we killed
No.
in Disney World. The one we're not talking about.
I mean, now I just want to incorporate Gaston into Star Tours as much as possible.
Oh God.
Gaston
Oh,
was
God.
Let's see, like,
that fighter pilot.
When I meant Gaston, I meant some
Star
other person.
Tours,
we
what
killed.
are you doing here on the Hoth planet? Nobody fights battles on the Hoth planet like Gaston. No, maybe he's like, I'm here to pick up the rebel spy because no one helps the rebellion like Gaston.
This needs to happen. This needs to just be like
Wait, instead
a
of Boba
temporary-
Fett,
What?
instead of Boba Fett, Gaston thought of, kill the spy! Kill the spy!
Okay, reel it in, everybody. Okay, point taken about Gaston. I was thinking of a Disney character, couldn't come up with the right one. But I was referring to the other man we killed in Disney World, but I knew that. So yeah, we killed the guy. I always interpreted that guy
Wait,
we
what
killed.
other man you kill at Disney World?
I mean, the one we killed at Disney World, the one we're not talking about for some reason.
Which weren't we talking
No,
about? You're
Tiki,
confusing
we're
me.
live on air. We're live on air.
Yeah, I
He gets
know.
it.
Seriously. No.
Wait,
Right.
So
hold on,
Star
like a
Tours.
great movie ride or
Star
something?
Tours was great. We didn't kill anyone.
We gotta make the. Oh, we gotta do something.
Where the hell did this podcast go?
Right. Because Monkey got thrown into the mix. Anyway, I'll talk about the idea I just had
It's all
later on.
Jafar's fault.
I have an
Yes, it
idea I'm
is.
going to bring up to you guys later on. Remind me of it.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, you're right. I always interpreted the guy that apparently we killed in the ride, as something like the other rebels shot at him. We was just like, because a lot of laser blasts. I couldn't tell which one was ours in the old one.
Right.
So yeah, we killed more people in this ride.
Yeah, maybe it depends on the version, but yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of did smash through someone in Tatooine.
Well, that's fine though. We didn't smash through some. Well, we knocked their
It's
pod
okay that
out.
we killed that nameless pod racer.
We didn't kill him. We didn't see a potty. We probably killed the Wookiee though.
We assisted
Yeah.
his death.
Kind of funny. I remember this. Like, go on.
We may have killed that Wookiee though, unless you want to look at it as like we saved his life somehow. That he may have landed in a tree
If we
or
didn't
something.
kill him, that Wookiee's a paraplegic.
Wait, Wookiee? Do you mean Chewbacca when he jumps on the window? On the window?
See, I thought we're wondering if that's Chewbacca or not.
I'm gonna assume, but.
Well, if he dies, we don't want him to be Chewbacca.
If it's Chewbacca, he walked off. He walked it right off like a champ.
Well, you know what they say. You know what they say, fellas. Life day heals all.
Oh God.
Where was I? Where was I?
You know, Chewbacca actually dies a really cool death in the expanded universe.
I knew
Oh,
he
there-
died. I don't remember how.
Well, you know, it'd be so. What would you guys think if? Oh man, I'm getting into direct viewer talk right now, so forgive me. But if it for like the second out of this trilogy, which would be reasonably the darkest of the trilogy, of the new trilogy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Chewbacca or a major character died, perhaps Chewbacca.
I
would
actually
actually really
don't
like
think
that.
Han Solo is going to make it out of Episode 7.
That's a good point. Oh, what
Not
they
to like Harrison
Yeah.
Ford wouldn't let it.
Exactly. Exactly.
What if
Case in
if
point.
Boba Jr. It's so cool if Boba Jr. kills him.
Do you know who I would
Boba
love to see
Jr.?
die?
Who?
What?
Yeah, it would be fucking incredible if R2-D2 died.
I agree with
We
you.
can't kill
I
R2.
agree with you.
Wouldn't that be so incredible?
I kind of see both sides.
Well, if R2 does die, C-3PO has to mourn the loss and become a better character for it.
That's what I mean. Like, they could make it the saddest death, and people would cry for a robot that could not
However,
speak.
okay, look, I would save that for the second of the trilogy, though.
Oh,
of the
that's
new
what I mean.
trilogy.
Yeah, the second movie, definitely.
Okay, regardless, let's save all this, put a pin in it for the future.
But how is he going to die?
I don't know. I want to see something
No, he has
like
to take
he's
a
not
bullet for...
No,
Yeah.
not like he's not blown up or anything. Just like he powers down. Like
Right,
something
right.
happens to make that happen.
Oh, I know what should happen. If somehow Luke is like either tied to something that will kill him that's like electronic or something, or either that or like somehow in the future like he's not doing well and he has to like have like more bionic parts to him like his father.
Yeah.
Which could be kind of interesting parallel.
Oh.
And maybe like R2 gives like the last of his energy to support Luke and like he's injured and that like sustains him.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
And like
I really want to see R2 die now.
Okay,
That
back to
sounds-
Star Tours.
Okay, so back on the Wookiee. So I remember because let's see, the 2011 D23 Expo. I went to the Star Tours thing they had on the third day,
Oh.
and there was this clip they showed of like the whoever that was as the Chewbacca or whoever Wookiee, and like
Yeah, Peter
Mayhew.
Mayhew.
what?
Peter Mayhew.
Yeah, if that was him. So yeah, just whoever they had in the Wookiee suit, like just. And they were showing footage of when they were filming the Wookiee, just like he just jumps off this platform and onto a glass.
That's probably not Peter Mayhew.
Yeah, that was probably not Peter Mayhew.
Well, he's got really bad.
This is the glass.
He's like 70 and he has really bad knees. I don't think that's him.
Yeah, he just got a double.
That was amusing.
Unless maybe that's the reason why he has bad knees.
Or something interesting. Something I wondered. So like originally, I think it was like instead of Akbar or Yoda, I don't remember what. Maybe it was instead of Akbar, it was gonna be Leia's father in the transmission.
That would be very interesting.
That guy's. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of like some recent Lego Star Wars. They kind of make him kind of a funny yet pathetic character.
I mean, I would like to see that though. We don't actually see him that much.
Yeah, it's because he really is Jimmy Smits.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you could get him, I guess.
What's wrong?
Well, I
with
mean, not
Jimmy
just that. It's
Smits?
like. I'm sorry, what?
I said, what's wrong with Jimmy Smits?
No, I'm saying nothing's wrong with him. I'm saying I have to get Jimmy Schmitz, and I don't. I guess he wouldn't be opposed to coming back. I guess he's not too high and mighty, is he?
I don't think
I don't know.
so.
Regardless, I'm just saying like recently he's come back and he's not the actor. I mean the character's come back and they've done silly stuff with him. So we'll see. It was just in Legos though, so it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But I don't know. Maybe that could have been cool. But I think it's better if you keep it kind of timeless with these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, even though it is kind of set in the prequel verse, and at least it's in a good part of the prequel verse where it's like the midsection we haven't seen yet.
True.
Which is cool, and that's the only prequel movie I'd like to see, and that's time to talk for another time in direct ears. Hintity hint. It would be... Yeah, it's kind of interesting to set it there, so it's not just people like rolling their eyes like, oh, it's prequel stuff. Instantly prequel stuff. It's like, still, this feels like classic Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were saying, Monkey?
Was I saying something?
I thought you were saying something about he should have been the guy, then you're going to move on to another topic.
I think I was just commenting that it might have been him. Well, who knows? Just that. What could have been?
Anything else?
Not sure. Maybe something will come to me.
Have we pretty much run the gambit on this discussion?
So yeah, but the point is the ending of the ride. The ending of the ride is pretty much you roll in there somehow, and basically you go down there and they mapped in digitally somehow. I forget how, but like somehow it's like all the rebel guys and they're waving at you. A lot of them dressed like Luke was at the end of the first movie. It's an homage to A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're always waving. He's like, "Hey, good job, you. Good for you." And you see saying, "Oh, it's good to be home." And he's like, "Wait, what's happening?" As the thing's being sealed up.
Oh, and of course, no matter where you end up, at the end you always exit back out into Star Tours.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, wait, do we exit into Star Tours or just the Rebel base?
Star Tours.
I mean, are you sure it's still Star Tours?
Yeah, because they have travel posters and the exit.
Well, I mean,
corridor.
I know like the physical Star Tours, but I mean like the room where you enter and exit. Specifically, not just walking down to the gift shop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Star Tours because, like BlueDude said, travel posters and such, like visit Naboo, visit Coruscant.
Yeah, they wouldn't have those on a Mon Calamari cruiser.
maybe the rebels have some sort of marketing deal with the Star Tours. That's why they feel so obligated to protect them.
Their health plan's not that good.
Exactly. I mean, they need to get funding from something, so they have They have to buy their own stuff because it's either steal the Empire's, technology and their ships and modify them and stuff, or it's gonna have to buy their own stuff. And if they don't have a deal with like the Organas, it is Organa, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Organa. With the Organas, they're going to have to get funding from somewhere. Might as well be with Star Tours. But that's a thriving business. A lot of people from all over the cosmos, and they want to travel.
Yeah.
Space, a lot of it. Want to go around, want to travel, go see the stars, light speed, do some stuff. No, just kidding.
Oh god. All right, guys. Anything else to say before we wrap it up?
Do I have something?
I have an Epcot thing.
Oh, Epcot thing.
In Tokyo Disneyland, in the post show for Star Tours.
Oh, the alien.
No. In the post show for Star Tours, there's like a guy doing like baggage claim bullshit, but there's also screens showing like what other things you can go on Star Tours, and they show the videos that go at the end of Horizons.
Nice.
They go at the end of what?
Horizons. It was a pavilion at Epcot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tokyo Disney has that alien in the exit, right?
Oh, does it?
Like that alien who's like the same model as Sunny Eclipse.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. Actually, I think I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Which came first, though, him or Sunny Eclipse?
Sunny Eclipse. Oh, shit.
When did he show up, Sunny?
Probably in the 94, 90, whatever the hell, overhaul of Tomorrowland.
That's probably a safe guess.
Yeah, it's probably about. I mean, they're probably the same because they were probably made at the same time. Yeah, that's my assumption, at least.
Do you guys think we have any chance of getting Puppet Yoda again?
No.
Really?
No.
I'm saying Disney's now at the helm.
As much as I love Puppet Yoda, it wouldn't happen. Because they would say, oh no, this Yoda can do flips and shit.
Well, think about it this way. Jim Henson is now affiliated with Disney.
Yes.
And now Star Wars is also affiliated with Disney, and Lucas kind of out of the picture.
Okay, well, first of all, where would we even see Yoda in the new trilogy?
Well, I mean, he's a Force ghost, remember?
Yeah, we can see Ghost Yoda.
Maybe his son, who looks exactly like him.
Okay.
This is not Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't work that way.
It's actually Frank Oz in makeup.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And he really... I wonder what his take on the Muppets would be like. That's for another time.
Who, Frank Oz?
Well, yeah, Frank Oz.
There was that episode of the Muppets where the guest star was like, Luke,
Star Wars?
Oh yeah, I love that. Well, we should talk about that sometime.
Yeah.
Speaking of Season 4, where the hell's the Season 4 DVD, The Muppet Show?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Let alone Season 5.
But I mean, like, talk about the stars of Star Wars episode of that, remember?
I'd totally be down for any and all Muppet-related conversation.
Yeah.
Muppets.
I know my Muppets.
Or the episode of Christopher Reeve. I love that one.
Was it Christopher Reeve an episode?
Yeah, it's when before bad things happen.
Well, yeah. What season?
Yeah, I know.
It was, I think it's season 2, but I could be wrong.
Oh, that's why I haven't watched season 2.
No, actually, it's season 2 or season 4, so it's one of those. It's probably season 4, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen all my DVDs, so it's pretty much 4.
But I just thought something. You guys ever watch Tim Bab's Kingdom comedy?
No.
Never heard.
Okay, first up, check him out. So he did this one episode where he takes a look at these little toys in the Star Tours gift shop as like Disney characters as Star Wars characters.
I remember those.
And it's like, what would it be like if they could talk? And he used it to point out some of the weird ideas in the casting, like, so Mickey is Luke and Minnie is Leia. Like,
Does that mean you're my sister?
Oh, that is not
We
right.
never tell. Wait, so the girl I'm dating is both my sister and my mother?
That is an awesome Mickey Mouse impression, Monkey.
Yeah. Then and Mickey is Anakin. He's also Anakin.
And I am your father! Wait, I'm my own father? How does that make sense?
Goofy as Vader. Well, wait, I thought I was your father.
Oh, yeah, I'm my own father, and so is a dog. Yeah, but his father's rapping.
So wait, is Walt Does that make Walt Disney the emperor?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Was it? And Donald is Harrison. Donald is Han Solo. And it's like,
What other genius decisions did people in marketing come up with?
cut to Stitch as Yoda.
Nah.
Wait,
And
who's
then, like, at the very... Huh?
Who's Donald?
Han Solo.
Harrison Ford.
Right, making sure.
And then at the end, there's a little thing with Goofy as Jar Jar. Like, Jar Jar blinks. Uh-oh. I think I've been insulted. Gosh.
Well, shouldn't Mickey kind of, in theory, be Han Solo, and then I guess Chewbacca would... Well, I mean, if you're going to have Stitch in there, I mean, like, if you went with classics, then I guess Pluto would be Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you want classics, I'm sorry.
Who would be Greedo?
Who?
Mortimer.
Greedo. Who would be Greedo?
It'd have to be like a... Well, wouldn't Pete be Jabba?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, who would be Tarkin? Let's see, Frollo could be Frollo.
Okay, so are we going out of the classics?
What?
Are
What?
we going out of the classics, or like...
Yeah, it seems as though we've lost the... Peter Pig can be the Jawas. All of them.
Peter Pig.
And
Oh,
then
right,
that
right,
weird,
Peter Pig, yeah.
that weird old goat with the fucking beard, he can be Ben Kenobi.
Wait. No, maybe...
Oh,
for some reason I see-
Henrietta Hedden can be
For some reason I see
And
Doc
Peru.
as Obi-Wan.
who?
Doc? Maybe Jiminy Cricket?
Yeah.
Okay, either Clarabelle or probably Daisy. Daisy probably be better for this if she was like the other female in the Star Wars universe, the ones at the battle plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, who's gonna be Akbar?
Akbar?
Oh
Oh,
boy.
God. Sebastian. Sebastian.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That would be awesome. That's actually perfect.
It's a trap.
It's a trap!
man.
It's a trap, Mario.
Ariel, what do you think you're doing? It's a trap.
We are so off topic right now.
So Star Tours is a cool time for all.
Essentially, Star Tours, with the revamp, what do you guys like more? Let me ask you that real quick. What do you like more, the new ride or the old ride?
Can't decide.
Okay, what about you, Tiki?
Old.
Adventure Blue Dude?
Yeah, I'm kind of between, but like honestly, I lean towards the newer, but I'm kind of between.
I like the old one just because it fits into continuity better.
True.
Third Death Star.
Yes, sir, Death Star.
The third Death Star's a
I
stupid
said
idea.
better. I didn't say it fit into continuity perfectly.
I'm still saying it makes so much more sense if it's during the thing, despite the fact R2-D2 is off the thing. Maybe it's like a look-alike R2-D2. Yeah, it's still stupid. Anyway, I don't know. For me, it's a really tough decision because I have such nostalgic ties to the old ride. The new ride is so great and it's so rewritable. Then again, so was the old one, but this new one really is rewritable because you get so many different outcomes. But I think,
although it is annoying for me, like to get Coruscant over and over and over.
I'll give you that.
That's what I've heard from people. Yeah.
And over 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 and over. Yeah, I made my point.
What was that last one?
I made my point.
No, I mean before that.
And over.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, Coruscant's my least favorite ending. Like, the 3D's not as good. Nothing really exciting happens.
Well, I mean, you kind of land in the thing like you did the first ride.
Yeah, or just those
And
bugs.
there's a lot of traffic. Love traffic, don't you?
Yeah.
Because that's what you go to
traffic.
Disneyland
Yeah,
for, to be
two things
traffic.
in Tomorrowland with traffic. That'll not help you.
Oh my god.
Something I want to make statement about these two. The two rides, they do what I love about them remains true for both, and I love that they still haven't lost this despite the changes of the additions. I would hope even in the future, if they were do it again after these movies come out or whatnot, I still want them to remain true to
Star Tours, the adventures still continue.
or the adventure goes on. But regardless, I just want the that spirit of the ride. You go in there, you're immersed in this. It's always an adventure. Literally the adventure does continue with this ride, but still with that old ride too. You're immersed in the universe. Like I mean, I love that immersive like wild ride feel. Like plus in this ride, they really added some pathos to it at times. Again with that Princess Leia message, where you really feel like you're getting invested with the characters, which I think C-3PO is a smarter choice than the old captain they had, by the way.
Yeah.
It's better circumstances. C-3PO and R2-D2, they always get in these misadventures, and they really motivate all our journey in the original Star Wars. When you think about it, because the guys initiates, they're our first characters into this bigger world.
Yeah.
True.
And regardless, I think it's a smart move to put C-3PO in there. But for both rides, I just want that sense of adventure that I got with the original Star Wars movie. That I would hope continues with movies to come in the future, but regardless, I just want that sense of adventure, just being part of that adventure with the characters we love, and just rooting for them when we need to root for them, and fearing with them when that happens, or like just hoping that we get out of this like, oh, I have a bad feeling about this, but yeah, woohoo, and we blow up the Death Star. I want that feeling, and I think this ride, the new ride, holds that, and that old ride just gets you that sense of awe. You're going into space for the first time, like Luke did way back in '77.
For sure.
Or 70s. Yeah. Anyway, it's a great adventure, but real quick, Tiki, I know you wanted to mention this, so I thought I'd bring this up. You want the technology of the rides, like anything about that? You want to mention the 4D simulator rides that this meant for?
Well, I mean, I think we said all we need to say. I just think that the Star Tours 4D is more impressive than other ones, I think.
Such as...
Such as something like I really don't like it when you go into a big theater and you sit down in a seat and it's just the seat that's moving.
So
like Shrek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even something like the Jimmy Neutron ride at Universal.
Hey, I like
that.
The Jimmy Neutron ride actually does take a lot of cues from this when you think about it. But then again, that was the Hanna-Barbera ride. I know Hanna-Barbera was better. Okay.
Despicable Me is the same ride system, yeah? As Neutron. Yeah,
it kind of bothers me that Universal just never bothers to update their ride system. That's kind of annoying.
Well, now I want to see what they do with Despicable Me. They might have added some stuff with Despicable Me. I don't know. I haven't been.
I'm planning to go on the Hollywood one in the near future, so we'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, regardless, I think Star Wars. Well, technically, now you really think about it, Star Wars was probably the first one. I don't know how long the Hanna-Barbera one's been around, but I love the pre-show.
Star Tours definitely predated.
Oh, and Tiki.
What?
Harry Potter Land in Florida has broken one of your cardinal rules.
What do you mean?
They have animatronics in the queue.
Yeah, I was wondering if anyone would call me on that. Oh my god.
Yeah. You know what? If I play again, every ride, animatronics in the queue. Just waiting there for you. I'm gonna PM you. I'm gonna send you messages of rides that have animatronics in the queue.
Yeah, Star Wars did really start that with this ride.
Okay, to be fair, the Harry Potter one might have maybe 6 of them.
Yeah, it's got 6.
It's not literally a whole airport terminal full of people. Like, it was like 200 plus animatronics with that lost.
I never said that it was 200. I just want like, people behind a counter working at a computer.
Well, aside from magic.
Okay.
Back to back to Disney magic, or back to the magic of Star Wars. The force of Star Wars, if you will. I agree with you. Star Wars has had an impact on these rides we do get now, such as mentioned, like the Jimmy Neutron ride, or the Hanna-Barbera ride, and all the rides to come. And that great kind of motion you feel like you're part of the action. But overall, when I think of this ride, just this ride and the Back to the Future ride in terms of motion simulator rides really just stick out to me. It's just such a great grand time adventure you're having.
I do think that Back to the Future is a slightly better simulator technology.
I think they're both great. I'm saying that I think Star Wars really did push that as the popular ride of choice in early, because that ride and Back to the Future ride really stuck around, giving us some of the rides we have today.
The thing with Future, I'm guessing it's the same with Future. It was the same with Future as it is with Simpsons, but Future, look to the side, you can see the other vehicles. That can be a thing.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Just
Okay.
if I may say so, I feel Transformers is pretty good at this.
Yeah, but Transformers not really a simulator. It's more of a
Yeah.
hybrid.
You guys, can you quickly
It's
tell
similar.
me how the Transformers ride is? Is it good? What's the deal with that? I heard about this being a ride. I don't know anything about
Well,
it.
do you know about the Spider-Man ride in Universal
Yes.
Orlando? It's
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same ride system.
It's the exact same thing.
But
Yeah,
the Spider-Man
it's the same.
ride's still around, though, right? It's
Yes.
still around? Okay,
Yeah.
thank God. Don't scare me like that.
Yeah. And then they added Transformers over there too, just like
Yeah, that makes no sense.
yeah, they had to even they're getting in on the steal from California game.
Wait, so what's the ride? So, like, are you going around Are you in the Transformer? Or
You're in a
go-
Transformer, yes, and there's all this
How can you
battle
be
going
in a
on.
Transformer?
You're in a Transformer. I thought you were just in a thing fucking going
You're in
about
a
looking at the
Transformer.
Transformers.
You can't be in a Transformer. That defeats the purpose.
What if they transform? Do we die?
That's the thing. You'll die.
I think he is wait, right. I know he seems to be able to work his arms okay. Like he can just grow an arm and it doesn't have any effect on us.
Wait,
Well,
so
yeah, like,
cars
lift
have
us-
arms?
He's got to lift us. He has to lift us in a car or something, like the Iron Giant. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
I thought Universal was doing good. I thought they were getting better. They do
Well,
this
wait,
They are getting better.
pull this. What?
They are getting better. It's awesome.
not
What
with
are you
not with
talking
this.
about?
All right,
with
so
ride
just,
vehicles with arms or not.
okay, so just to be clear, Transformers is in Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the studios park.
Okay, so Universal actually is doing stuff now that they got rid of all their literally parking space marked rides.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, no Jaws, no King
Yeah.
Kong. What? I can't park there now? Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, it still makes me sad that they got rid of Jaws for friggin' Harry Potter.
And yet they still. The thing bothers me. I'm sorry, but we're probably real back sort of right after this. But yeah, they still sell the merchandise and they mark the parking the same as the rides they've gotten rid of. That's kind of sad.
Well,
That's kinda
Jesus,
like-
King Kong's been gone for like 10 years.
I know, but still, why is? And then they got rid of everything else.
Yeah.
It's like they get rid of the Terminator one. There's another thing gone.
I remember
They
going
still
on
have
King
Terminator
Kong.
out there, right? In Orlando, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
they?
they do.
Yeah. Yeah, Terminator's still in Orlando.
I'm just too scared to get on it.
Yeah, well, you still have it. They took it out in Hollywood.
Well, I'm not too scared. It's like when I was a kid, I kind of frightened me because of all the gunfire.
Yeah.
I get you.
I remember going on King Kong. That was a great ride. It was so cool.
Gentlemen,
No,
this
it's
video is like going on so
Right,
long, and we're so
right,
off
right.
topic.
Yeah, we
I know.
should just do a Universal
Okay, look, let's just-
Studios episode one day.
We're
Hey,
at
look,
2.5 hours.
Everyone, let's wish everyone a happy belated May the 4th. Just say yay for Star Wars and let's hum some themes.
All right.
Fortnite.
You guys ready? You guys ready
Okay.
for the themes? You know what? You guys have all your themes down?
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, let me do a count up to 3.
Oh, Jesus.
1, 2, 3.
Bum.
Da, da, da,
Dude, I'm going to Jedi Rock.
Bum.